Avast ahoy, good day once again to ye mateys! I be Josh the Pirate, and it brings me a galaxy-spanning hamper full of pleasure to welcome ye once again to the Humblewood. Above me I have me hearty crew, the laconic Rachel Foucar, the lamentable Mitch Earnshaw, the lubberly Dan Suelto, and the lawless AJ Winters. And behind the scenes today, we have the lapidarian Serum 76. We must also shout out to our laureate artist, Breepi, whose artwork you can see on screen at the moment. We have our wonderful guest performer, Benneck, there right now. And we also need to shout out the Deck of Many, who are the minds behind this particular setting. And we have some lovely news. We have a sponsor for the season, Wooden Forge. They design and manufacture high-quality wooden tabletop gaming products using beautiful Australian and exotic hardwoods. They are local to WA and they do custom orders. Boys and girls, you can go out there and get yourself something like what AJ's got in her hands right now. Check out their incredible work at their website, woodenforge.com. And stay tuned for an amazing giveaway later in the season. How delicious. Well, guys, can you tell me who the hell you are and where you're from and what you do? And yeah, Rachel, tell us about yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rachel Foucar. I am an actor, writer, creative trash at large. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rachel Foucar. I also wrote a book. It's about space. It's called The Rings of Mars. And you can see Josh cowering behind it. You should buy it because it was hard to do. And it would make you smile if you did.
It was really good.
Thank you.
Get amongst it.
Get amongst it.
Thank you. Thank you, Rachel. You know that 7.5 I said before? 8 now.
Yes, good.
Mitch, tell us about yourself.
I'm just glad that out of all the L words Josh could have gone with, I was not the lactating Mitchell. How you going, everybody? I am Mitch Earnshaw. I am Mitch Earnshaw. Good to see all of you. You can find me on the Twitter where I tweet things. I literally just shared a cute little gif of a kitten, and it was really cute. Yeah, you can join me over there if you want. Otherwise, this is where you see me on Twitch here every Monday at this time, playing Nevermore. Good to see all of you again.
Marvelous. Thank you very much. Dan, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Dan, also D-Rab in Twitch chat and Roll for Damage's Discord. Come hang out. Aside from that, I love everyone, and I just wish I can spur that much mic drop energy every time, like Rachel does.
I need it for me.
Regardless, I'm playing Yeehaw Wizard tonight, and on Wednesdays I have Helvig again for
the
Shadow of the Broodmother. So come check that out as well.
Fun. Yeah, AJ. Who are you?
I'm real tired, but I'm going to try and do it. Rachel, hi.
Yes.
I'm AJ Winters. I'm a creative person. You should check out my Instagram where I update you on all the things that I do because it's a lot. There is voice acting, there is script writing, there is producing, there is film work, and you know what? It's all there. Go check it out. Or you can check out the Academy of Xandars on Thursday nights where I'm the DM.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's the beanie.
Nice.
Pretty sure it's the beanie.
It's got a pom-pom. It's not as gangster as it seems.
Oh, no. Okay, I misunderstood.
We tried a pom-pom.
That was excellent. Thank you, AJ. Yeah, and now I can't follow that. I ladies and gentlemen, no, I'm going to try. Let's
do it.
Yeah, let's do it again.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Josh the Pirate, and I come along on Monday nights and DM the Humblewood. And then on Wednesday nights, I like to organize one-shot Wednesdays. That's the way I work it. And this Wednesday, we've got Shadow of the Broodmother. Yeah, we do, boys and girls. And if you like my face and voice, you can come down and check out Pupperotica, my erotic puppet show that I do with my wife.
There's something so good about being passionate about saying, I do an erotic puppet show with my wife. Amazing.
Get amongst it.
Oh, Lord.
Well, we've lost everything.
Mostly our sanity.
That was fun. I enjoyed it.
It does wake you up.
Solid 9 now. Yeah, my blood is pumping. Okay. I must also remind our neat tidy and sensibly arranged audience to please like, follow, and subscribe. All the things. We have all the socials, and you can catch up all the episodes you missed on YouTube. In fact, last week's is up on YouTube right now because AJ is on top of that shit.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so I need someone to stare longingly off into the void and tell us what happened last week.
Jude,
I think that I should take this one, Jude, if I may.
it's never Jude.
It's next
Jude?
week, it's Jude.
I do believe next week is your turn.
Oh,
In fact, every single time it's been your turn, the 4th time around. 4. That many, just so you know. Yes, of course. There we go. Anyway, I'll take it from here. See, and watch, please, Benneck. I can do this without any note-taking. So...
Oh, you just want me to watch? All right.
So, we began last session with Jude going on a little expedition to talk to Grail Noctua, the elf, the horrid-looking hairless thing that is not from the Humblewood. However, after about, I don't know, half an hour or so of Jude being gone, Noctua came to us, and Jude had not gone to see Noctua. And we had no idea where Jude had gone. However, that was twice in the past couple of days that Jude had lied to us. I think in the last 24 hours at that point in time. So Trish and I decided to go and have a little talk with Jude about this whole lying thing. You know, with the muffins last time and now going off to see Noctua and going who knows where. Anyway, Trish said that Trish was going to, Trish said that they were going to talk to Jude about this. And as soon as we got in there and Jude was in tears, that all crumbled away. And yes, you're soft and squishy, Trish. You're soft and squishy. Don't deny it.
I was distracted by the tears, all right? Leave me alone.
Yeah, I was actually distracted by one other thing, something that Jude had with them. It was one of Helvig's spines, which, come to think of it, we never actually asked her about. We just kind of hugged her and then had a quick talk to her and took her to eat some muffins.
I mean,
but
she didn't specify specifically, but she did tell you that she went to see the divination professor.
Oh, I must have. Of course I knew that part. I was just brushing over that. I know everything. Now, anyway,
that was Irelaf telling you that.
Oh, thank you. We went to dinner where I saw my old favorite professor, Rusty. And fucking Rusty. And then I introduced Rusty to the rest of the group, which was wonderful. I'm glad that 2 groups of loved ones got to meet each other. I didn't say that. Anyway,
yes, you did.
Rusty about my eye and the fact that there's something in my head and that my magic is being changed. And Rusty offered to have a talk to me over a glass of brandy about potentially controlling the changes to my magic. So that is where I went to after having dinner. And Trish and Benneck. Trish and Benneck went off to do something. What did you do after all, Trish and Benneck?
We went to speak to some healers, and I'm learning first aid.
Oh, well, that's helpful.
I also
Thank
learned
you.
that Helvig's fucking dead. So there's that too.
Yes. Sorry for hiding that from you, but you know. Anyway, continuing on, Jude seemed quite reinvigorated after all the muffins and the tears, so decided to get all sweaty and active. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. It seemed to carry over to the following day as well, where she started doing some parkour in the library. Sacrilege. Anyway, so we're down there in the library learning things about conjuration and stuff, and then everything goes quiet and we get attacked by some clones of ourselves. Anyway, after we finished ourselves off, and then we were then
not
joined.
Like Donnie.
We were then joined by. We were then joined by Mordane, who was absolutely shocked that we'd been attacked in the library, and now we're off to talk to the dean. Yes.
You are. Well done. Yes, that is pretty accurate.
Thank you.
Well, mateys, may your shadows be outwardly mobile and all your research materials not be damaged in suspicious ways as we venture once more into the Humblewood. So, where we left off, the team was in the lower library of the Avium. They just had an encounter with some shadowy figures, and Mordane has suggested that he take you to the Infirmary to recover from the experience. Before you head up, is there anything else you wish to do while you are down there? Like, Jude is quite badly hurt, despite having had laid on hands themselves.
Yeah, does Mordane keep a record of people coming in and out of the lower library?
Not really. He would actually answer that. No, we don't. There isn't any need, really. The numbers are very low, yes.
I think we
all
just
the
need
faculty,
to go talk to the dean.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, I'm racking my brains to think. Most of the people, very few people have access to the library, the lower library, of course, but all the faculty do. And, well, I don't like to point a finger without any evidence at all, but it is worth possibly noting that a few days ago, Professor Nightseed came with a rather unusual request. It was for the Necronomicon Ex Corvus, a tome of very powerful necromancy spells. And normally, such a dangerous book is not permitted to leave the lower library, but she insisted. Of course, she returned it after studying it yesterday, I believe. And but recently, the tome has gone missing again. I can't find it. Not such a thing like that. That book is literally chained down. So I've been waiting to hear back from the appropriate channels, but it seems that whoever's taken the book wished to leave me shouldering the blame. I have my suspicions, but
what does the book contain?
High-level necromancy, without wanting to be too specific. Some very powerful spells, bound magics as well. So if you can't, not something you can really even fit into a spell book, has to be bound to something really quite powerful.
And I'm assuming this page here comes from that. I'm holding up the page that we found on the ground.
He says, I haven't read the book myself, I'm afraid, so I wouldn't know. Not out of the question, however.
Well, perhaps we should go and talk to the dean. And
yes.
My thought is potentially getting oh Lord, give me one moment. Let me get the name correct. Ravanya to the meeting as well. Ravanya may have foreseen something.
Well,
I understand the library is on lockdown when it comes to scrying, but
yes,
I think
he may well have had
going in and out. Yes,
he may well have had. He may well have some other observations that he could add to it. I shall see you to the infirmary, and no doubt the dean will want to talk to you. I shall not accompany you. However, you know all I know. I shall come back down and see if I can see what else I can turn up, if you don't mind.
Yeah, can I make an insight check on him?
Sure.
Just to see whether or not just to see if he's like
he's full of malarkey.
If he's full of malarkey, yeah. I want to see if he's like, oh, I don't know.
Benneck did one last week, but you are welcome.
I already did mine last week.
You did one last week?
Yeah,
okay.
but I will allow Nevermore to make one as well.
I can
12's
share
not
what
gonna
I
do
said.
too
or
much.
what I
12's
thought.
not too bad. Yeah, he does seem legit. He seems deeply shaken. He was genuinely surprised when he came back and found you, and found the situation. That his surprise there seemed to be completely genuine. And he is now genuinely shook. He mentioned Professor Nightseed. He was clearly reluctant to, however. He genuinely doesn't. It doesn't seem that he seems to be like trying to express that he couldn't believe that Nightseed would do that.
Yeah.
But that book, like it's just the book is missing, and it disappeared from his shelves recently, and she's the last person to have read it. And there's some necromancy going on, and she's the necromancy professor. Yeah. So he escorts you to the infirmary, and you guys have a short rest there, and at which point you are all back to full health. I will say that the people there fix you all up good and proper, and you recover all your strength that you lost. So Trish, you go back up to your mighty 7, and Jude back up to her significantly mightier 18.
Also arcane recovery, my spells back.
You can arcane recovery, but you don't get all your spell slots back unless you do that.
Cool.
Yeah,
Arcane
I do
recovery.
that. I only cast one spell. I shank the rest of the time.
Okay, I get 2 spells back. Wonderful.
Cool. Right. Well, you. So while you're there, while you're there, a young student comes in looking flushed and a bit concerned. It's actually the Jobeen child from the library before.
The ugly one.
Yeah, the ugly one, the one with rabies and zits. And he doesn't have rabies, but he does have a bad case of acne. And he comes in and says, Dean Winsworth would like to see you at your earliest convenience.
Is everybody up to it?
Sure.
Jude, you got pretty messed up in there. You feeling okay?
I'm perfectly healed.
All right, let's go then.
You are. Great. He said, cool. Have a nice day. And then he just sort of watches you go past and is like, oh boy, those guys are so cool. And yeah, you go to Dean Winsworth's office.
I just shake my head as I walk past, like, go buck up, man.
Yeah, the dean is sitting in his office. It is oval shaped, like full of books. Like it looks like he's in the process of moving house, but he's not. He's just really disorganized. And he's got a lot of books in his office, and he's sitting. Normally, you would find him working in here. Nevermore, you've been in here several times, like in your schooling. He's always doing something. The guy seems to be operating like he's such a clever man. He operates on quite a very high cerebral level. He's capable of marking an exam and carrying on a conversation simultaneously. So it's very unusual to see him not doing anything. And he is sitting in his in a quite a comfy chair, red leather padded chair. That's better. With his hands across his chest, and he is clearly just deep in thought. And he sees you come in and thank you for attending me so quickly. I've heard you had something of an incident. Mordane has informed me of the broad strokes, but I understand there was a couple of casualties.
Yes. Anybody else want to take it, or?
There were shadowy people that stabbed us.
Yes.
That's the long and the short of it, yeah.
And they were summoned, I believe, and he holds up the scroll in question. Necromancy.
Okay, yes, it seems to be from a book, torn from a book or something. Found it.
Yes. So here's the thing. You aren't the first to have an incident the last few weeks. I don't mean to alarm you, but several strange things have been reported across the campus. And, well, the college was made by powerful wizards, you see. And we haven't really figured out how everything the old codgers did here. I hadn't actually assumed that this was all related. Nothing major, nothing quite to the tune of, student deaths and heroes attacked in the library, anything like that before, but there've been several unsettling things, and I hadn't linked them in my head before this. I had assumed it was just, this place is full of bizarre magical phenomena. I thought it might just be that, but this is the spin on things.
This is the second time that dead things have attacked us.
What?
Well, there were skeletons outside.
Out beyond the bounds of the Avium.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was looking for them, Dean.
Why? You didn't mention this before?
We killed them.
They
Honestly,
had no meat in their bones, so I just forgot about them.
Things are always attacking us, man. It all just kind of blends together.
And skeletons seem to be a little bit lesser worry than a large flaming serpent that digs underground. So yeah, I guess it just did.
Fair enough. Sorry, I'm just getting this straight in my head. You've had 2 necromantic attacks in the last 3 days.
Yep.
Add to that, actually. Yes. Well, add to that, there's a young student, Jordan, his name is saying something scared the lad, I think. He's not one to shirk, but despite what everybody seems to think of him, but he's lodged a complaint, and he's not very well, and he's looking to return home, but we can't figure out what's wrong with him. But I've spoken to the chap myself, and I genuinely think something spooked him. And so there's that. Professor Ravania has made some rather cryptic predictions of late, and can't explain it himself either. It's unlike Korvax to not be able to figure out what his own visions mean. But he's looking for any assistance in that. And there's another student, Gel Platena. She's lodged a complaint about the servitor skeletons acting oddly, which I think is rather interestingly possibly linked to what you guys have noted. You'll probably find her in a library doing extra research. She's a very studious girl. Normally I would turn this over to the Perch Guard at this point, but, well, you are here. And
who better?
It would seem to me that somebody is trying to actively interfere with your investigation. And anybody wanting to do that may well have the answers you seek.
It would seem like it. As a detective.
Yes.
I am on the case.
Good. Look, I trust my staff, all of them, including Gilda Nightseed. And I want it very clearly understood there. I'll need hard evidence before I can even consider one of them being to blame.
So, you'd like us to talk to the spooked student?
Yes.
To go see Ravania, and to go talk to the student who's experiencing weird behavior?
She's only reported one incident, but it was an interesting one. She'd be the one to talk to about.
A little bit of a summary.
She said basically they were behaving oddly. The detail was not very specific, but yes, she lodged the complaint that they basically just dropped their task halfway through the task, and just as one got up and left the room, which is unusual.
Who knows that?
I don't have the memory for this, I'm afraid. You'd have to ask Gel. It was initially, I'll be honest, discarded as they probably had something else to do. The bureaucracy here is fairly intensive. This went through 4 hands before it reached mine.
I'd be curious as to what time that happened and whether or not it lines up with anybody in particular being free or in class, or yes, that's one of the questions I'll probably ask.
Very well.
Do we have your permission to go and speak to Nightseed, or would you prefer that not happen?
I have no particular issue as long as you are courteous.
Of course, of course.
Until you have something solid.
No accusations will be leveled. It will be merely inquiries.
You can ask. You certainly can ask.
She is a friend of mine.
Yes, Jude's already met.
I see. Yes, she's an interesting woman, and always treading a very fine line, and I appreciate her ability to do that. Necromancy is a difficult subject at the best of times, and I think she is an excellent teacher of it. And given the Humblewood's legal situation regarding it, we had to fight quite hard to actually allow it in the syllabus at all. My argument being you have to know what you're dealing with one way or the other to be able to deal with it. Just ignoring a whole, 1/8 of all the kinds of magic one can do doesn't make for a better rounded knowledge of magic, even if you can outlaw the casting of it, but they should at least know the theory. Anyway, I thank you for it. I shall not take up any more of your time. How is your research going?
It'd be better if the books were all in one piece.
Yes, you, I suspect, find the culprit here, and you shall find your missing pages. You don't tear a page out of a book and then just destroy the page. You just destroy the book. So I would have thought they're keeping the pages. All the ones that seem to have relevant information on them. Wouldn't be overly shocked if you just find a huge pile of useful information.
Why would you keep the pages?
Well, if you want to, like I say, if you want to destroy if you wanted to destroy the page, why not just destroy the whole book? Be absolutely certain you've gotten rid of all the information rather than just tear out some of it. It also hides the fact that you've damaged it.
Maybe they need the information?
Maybe perhaps, which poses other interesting questions. A good thought, Master Littlefoot. Well, I shall leave you to your investigations. Thank you.
Yes, we'll go handle this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you.
All right, then.
All right,
cool.
see you, Dean.
Later, Benneck.
So, Benneck, as we're walking out, have you noticed anything weird happening? Apparently, there's been a few things recently.
Have I? Or did they put that in the down low?
Well, the Dean has heard of 3 slightly unusual things. Benneck, roll me a history check to see if you've ever noticed anything weird in the recent history.
Any misbehaving boner boys?
Yeah.
Boner boys.
Yeah.
You haven't noticed, I mean, aside from last Thursday night, we haven't seen any misbehaving boner boys. But in the light of this information, you have perhaps noticed that the skeletons, the servitor skeletons, are maybe not just a bit willful is possibly an interesting word to use. Like
they think?
Like they take a little longer than they ought to obey a command. And you could on occasion just put it down to the spell's wearing off. It's probably just stupid, but yeah, if you had to, maybe it's only in the light of this new information does it seem in any way odd. But you think that several of the ones you've interacted in the last couple of weeks could be described as reluctant.
I guess I can kind of describe the boner boys as reluctant. I didn't really think about it much. Maybe the spell's just wearing off. I'm not a necromancer. I just have necromancer friends.
How many necromancy students and people are trained in necromancy here at the moment? Approximately. I know it's a very large open question, but so I mean, in my past experience as well, I guess, how many students studied necromancy and how many students have the ability to control those things, I guess, in any way?
Students, maybe half a dozen students have the capacity to control even a single animate corpse. It's not a particularly well-studied element of magic. So it's sort of like high school. You do the first couple of years, everybody does a bit of everything, gets the grounding, gets their base knowledge up. Then they start moving into the more practical magics, and then they pick a stream sort of thing. Of the 500 students-ish at the Avium at any one time, no more than a couple of dozen will be studying necromancy at a higher level. There is 3 necromancy professors, and 2 of them are they have some knowledge in necromancy, and they also teach other stuff. It's a lower level, like tute, like people who would run a tute at university, sort of graduate students, not real full-bore professors themselves. And then there's Nightseed. Nightseed basically is the only teacher for higher level magic, necromancy magic at the school.
Got it.
So if you had to, you could count on the fingers or claws or talons of one hand the total number of people who would be capable of actually raising a corpse at the school. Dean Winsworth would be one, Gilda Nightseed would be another. There's at least one more floating around.
And I guess there could be a difference between controlling pre-animated corpses
and raising
taking leadership of ones that have already been provided or given life.
Definitely.
But okay, all. Who are we going to go see first? Ravanya, the student who was spooked, or the student who experienced weird behavior?
I think the students first, because they will give us more information, and then we could ask the bigger questions of the teachers when we know more. That seems right.
Logical.
Is that smart, Nevermore?
That is smart. You're quite smart in this one particular circumstance right now.
It is pretty
Thanks.
good.
Yes. Let's not go to the library immediately. Let's have a little bit of a break from the library and go.
Well, there are loads of libraries. She wouldn't have been in the lower library.
Well, what is... Well, I probably should have asked the name of the spooked student.
It was Jordan.
Jordan. Jordan.
Boop.
Yeah, pull the thing out. Jordan
Littlefoot.
Jordan Littlefoot.
No.
Wait, hang on. Whoa.
Would
Sorry?
he have said that in the... He said Jordan when he said it, but would he have said Littlefoot?
He did not refer to him as Jordan Littlefoot. He just said young Jordan. He teaches Jordan personally.
Okay.
He would have given you a slip of paper with the student's name on it.
Okay, got it. Okay.
He did
Just
not
read it out loud, and then it's like, wait a second.
But to anybody who thinking back on the conversation, he didn't avoid saying it. It just he didn't say it because he knows the kid personally.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. I'll just pull the piece of paper out and I'll say it. Jordan Littlefoot. Whoa. And I'll just like put the compass away.
What?
Jude? Jordan.
No.
That's what the name says on the piece of paper.
My
But
brother?
Jude is a potato sack. How
Is
can
one of
this
your-
be?
Oh, shut up, Benneck. You know better by now. Stop playing stupid.
I'm sorry, my charisma is -1. So is my wisdom.
You're intelligent. We know it. Sorry. Jude, you have a brother called Jordan.
Is he one of the horrible evil ones?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Crack knuckles. Okay, do you need to beat this kid up for you? Like, I can do it for free. Not my
Jordan
character role.
was born just before me. So he was my closest brother. But
Don't
Age.
people like a twin.
he was not studying. I don't.
No, he was not.
Interesting.
I'm very confused. I don't
Yes.
know.
Doesn't necessarily It's not necessarily a relation of Jude.
Yes, it could be another surely there could be another Jordan Littlefoot somewhere out there.
Jardines have massive families.
We should probably go check.
Do I
You
look
ready?
okay?
I mean, you look incredible as always,
Are we
Jude.
still outside the dean's
You
office?
look like a true detective.
I feel like you're probably heading to Jordan's. You would have left the dean's office. I don't know how much further you'd have gotten.
Damn it. I was just going to be like, hey, Dean.
Jude,
All right.
if you don't want to talk to your brother, we can go do something else. It's okay.
No, it's okay. I like Jordan.
Do you want to have like a safe word or something? In case like shit goes terribly wrong? A safe word and like a kill word?
A kill word?
I'm sorry, what? A kill word? Jeez.
Yeah.
You better be prepared.
Okay. A kill word, got it. What's the kill word?
We'll have both. Like a safe word to like, let's just leave. And a kill
Muffin?
word to beat the shit out of this Jordan.
But
kid.
you say muffin all the time.
That's true.
That is a bad word for choosing to kill your brother. Do you know? We're not going to use the word muffin. Especially with Benneck here. You'll just... Anyway.
Just
I'm
eat.
really
about this?
proficient with my dagger.
How about this? Jude, if you say the word blueberry, I will make up an excuse for us to leave. If you say the word kill, we'll kill him because at that point we really don't need to be subtle, do we?
All right.
No.
I can agree with that.
Okay.
That's a
Blueberry.
great idea. Yeah, it's like blueberry
And
muffin.
kill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't get them mixed up.
Jude
No.
doesn't remember things.
No, but blueberries are flavors. It's fine.
Blueberry is my favorite muffin flavor.
Okay.
Okay.
And I like to stab things.
Just one other
What
thing,
things
Jude.
stab?
Is there anything at all that you'd like us to not say to Jordan if it is your brother?
Oh.
Anything you'd like us to keep secret?
Good question.
Oh. I don't know. I don't want Jordan to tell my other brothers that I'm here. But I don't think Jordan would. He was the best one of all of them.
Okay. So don't need to like intimidate him or scare him or anything.
I mean, maybe a little bit, yes, because
Or
he's still one of the Littlefoot brothers, and they were not fun.
I wonder if I need props. Like I'm awful.
Do you have a mustache?
I don't. I don't think I can have a mustache anyway on my beak.
I want to scrounge craft Jude a disguise.
You totally can.
Yes, I can.
Yeah,
Actually, that's a great idea. I mean, we're not in a huge rush. It'll take half an hour to style Jude up so that Jude's brother doesn't realize it's Jude.
No.
Roll.
You want to be you?
No, I want to be me.
Oh, well.
Can you
Okay.
craft me a disguise? I don't know.
Why don't you disguise Benneck?
I'm gonna. I want to now.
Like a ghost.
Scrounge crafting him.
A mustache. Yeah, cool. Right. Yeah, make a sleight of hand check with advantage because Benneck will obviously be helping you
Yeah,
disguise
it's
him.
fine. I haven't been scrounge crafted
Hey.
before.
Yeah, you have been scrounge crafted super well. You have a very realistic, if odd looking mustache.
It feels weird.
It's just underneath your nostrils, which are quite high on your beak. It's got this long sort of flowy. It looks like you've got a whole squirrel sitting on your head, to be honest. And
I can see just over it.
yeah, it's just below the beak. It's just below the silver tip of. It's between your nostrils and the tip of your silver beak.
Just the
Yeah.
tip.
Anything else that you do to him, Trish?
That's it.
No,
That's all.
you 24 to make him a mustache. You have a
Mhm.
sleight of
I
I
hand.
think it looks
Plus-
distinguished.
You have a plus 11 for sleight of hand. That is ludicrous. Okay. Fucking rogues. That's expertise, isn't it? Yeah, that's double
Mhm.
proficient. Yeah. Okay. Right, great. So Benneck is for some reason mildly disguised, and you guys go to talk to Jude's brother, maybe. Cool. So, your compass takes you downstairs, down to one of the lower levels. Actually, you're only about sort of maybe 10 floors off the. No, not even 5 floors off the ground. This is like year 1 or 2 students. And these ones, Nevermore, you would be aware because you stayed in one once and you hated it. These are larger dormitories. These would be shared by 8 or 10 students.
Peasants. Got it.
Yeah. And I imagine you stayed in one for like 6 months, and then you wrote to your dad, and he paid for a private room for you.
One of the people in the bunk below me keeps farting. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And another one keeps going to the observatory and spending all night there and coming back smelling strange.
Gross. At least wash up.
So the teenage cat boy. You don't get to, yeah. All right. So yeah, you do that. You go down, but he is. Would you knock on the door? Is closed, but yeah. Would you knock, or would you just go straight in?
Do you want to do the talking, Jude? Or us?
I think Jude should say something.
Okay.
But
okay, look, we'll knock at the door.
You knock. There is a bit of bustling inside, and then the door opens just like a crack. And you see a little white gerbine face. It looks quite gaunt. Like not just sort of sleep deprived, actually properly like sickly.
Like inedible?
Look, I don't know. I mean, you eat
inedible.
I wouldn't go that far. He's still alive.
Okay, so he's not FD.
You tend to draw the line at living.
He is alive.
Yeah. So currently, yes, by your estimation, he is currently inedible.
Does he look like he'll keel over any minute?
No,
he
doesn't look.
Okay.
He's not that sick. No.
Okay.
And the little eyes, sort of. I'm assuming Nevermore opened the door, so the eyes start at your knees because that's eye level for him, and then it goes up and up and up and up, takes in the glory, the splendor that is Nevermore in all of his wizard robes and everything. Peering down with the eye patch. Oh no, with just your glowing eye.
Just this glowing eye socket.
Oh my god, it's terrible.
Let me in, little pig.
He looks up and he says, "Yes."
Hello. Am I speaking to Jordan Littlefoot?
That's me. What do you want?
We're here to talk to you about something you experienced the other day, if you have a moment of time.
You're just going to make fun of me.
No, we're absolutely not going to do that. We were just kind of attacked by some spooky shit, and we kind of need your help quite a bit.
His eyes go like saucer-sized. Make a persuasion check with advantage, please, Nevermore.
Sure. I am quite persuasive.
Sure.
Or am I? Hang on.
Not anymore.
I was, but a 19. Wonderful.
A 19 or an 18, choose. But yeah, pretty good. He's like, yes, please come in. And he opens the door. He says, are you Nevermore?
That's me.
Son of Lazarus? The defender?
I am most definitely that Nevermore. Pleasure to meet you. I lean down to go and shake his hand.
He takes your hand and shakes it. His grip is really weak. Like he seems to be like actively trying to put strength into it to pretend that he's not as sick as he is, but he seems really quite weak.
What do you know of me?
And then he sees presumably Trish comes in. Jude, are you hiding at all?
No, I was just behind Nevermore.
He sees you two come in afterwards. And he's like, come in. So
stay out here. I say
you
to
can-
the gang.
you can
come in. Come in, Benneck.
All right, I'll walk in through the threshold with so much high noon energy because of the mustache.
I love that you're a yeehaw wizard boy with now a yeehaw mustache.
As a
The whole
bird.
time they're talking to Jordan,
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm ready for a showdown.
You yellow-bellied sidewinder.
Hands like
Look,
this, but the dagger.
And he
like,
goes, yeah, he looks at Trish and goes, wow, and you must be Trish.
That's me.
Cool. And Jude?
Hi.
What are you doing with them?
I'm a defender of all the heart and the good people.
No.
Yes,
Jude Potato Sack.
that is me.
And you see him like stop, and like the clearly the clogs are turning in his head. Clogs, yeah. He has clogs in his head. That's why it takes so long. He's just got two shoes just rolling on each other. And then he dies because his brain obviously doesn't work. No. He
delicious.
Nah. He goes, that's where you went. Dad was really worried.
I didn't want to use the Littlefoot name because I didn't want to be followed.
I think I get it. And he looks down and he says, it's nice to see you.
You too, Jordan.
Um,
Although you look really sick.
I don't feel well.
No, you don't look well.
His face is drained of color and his eyes are heavy as though he hasn't slept. He has the look of a kid that's been bullied a lot as well, like the slumped shoulders, the sort of the very timid, and he's a Jabin as well, so he's already small. But yeah, he and the very fact that when you first arrived, he was like, you'll just make fun of me. All of this points to a kid who hasn't had the best time here. He says, so you wanted to talk about the scary thing?
Yes, let's start with that, and then you two can have a little bit of a conversation, I guess, if Jude's comfortable with that.
I would like that.
Please take it away.
So, did the dean send you?
Correct.
He's nice. He listens. So, it was 4 nights ago, and it was cold and raining. I could hear, my bed is the one near the window, and I could hear scratching outside, like something was scraping the wall outside my window. When I looked out, I saw it. This huge monster was climbing with its claws. It saw me too, and it had 4 eyes, big red eyes. And it opened its mouth, and I think I passed out. And then when I woke up, I felt really sick, like the sick that I feel now. And it was just gone.
How
See? Silly.
big? No, not silly. We have seen some pretty big monsters. I watched
Yeah.
my friend get eaten by one. He's dead now.
I heard. I'm sorry, I hadn't realized. Quite big. Like 10, 12 feet. Hard to say because it was holding on to the wall and I was looking down at it.
4 eyes.
And it was all made of bones.
Huh.
Well, that I could see. It was dark. But the face was all bony.
Have you been to
I was really focused on the eyes, I'll be honest.
Have you been to see a cleric, I'm assuming, since this has happened?
I went to the infirmary. They don't know what's wrong.
Did they cast any restoration magic on you?
They didn't. They haven't yet. They think and the nurse who saw me, she said I would probably just had a flu.
Well, I think that that's absolute nonsense, and I would be insisting to the dean that you do have restoration magic cast on you because you're clearly affected by something.
You think?
Yes, I do think.
Yeah, you reek of vulnerability.
Can
God.
I please cast Detect Good and Evil?
Yes, please do. Elemental, Fey, Fiend, Undead. Within 30 feet. Does it tell you exactly where? For the duration, you know if there is an aberration, celestial, elemental, Fey, Fiend, or Undead. Jude, within
as well
30
as where
feet.
they're located.
Yeah, within 30.
Is the next bit.
Oh, sure. Within 30 feet of you, there is a fiend, a celestial, and something that is not quite undead, but it feels a bit undead. Actually, there's 2 more undead, but they're outside. And they are just servitor skeletons that you saw on your way in. Jordan has something of an undead about him. And the celestial and fiend thing, it's hard to pick. Like, it's hard to tell which it is. Like, it could be one or the other, and it's in Nevermore's face.
Okay. So
you're not like
okay.
It's hard to tell exactly what it is from this.
Jude is going to ignore that for a moment and focus in on her brother that feels a little undead.
It's more like there's something. I'm expanding the what the spell will allow a little bit because I think it's a good use of the spell. It's more like he has an aura of necromancy about him, and that he is. In fact, can you make me an Arcana check as well? I know you're not very good at it, but unfortunately it is what you would do unless you're better at religion. But I don't think you are.
Both of them are -2.
That's fine. Do it.
15.
So he's not the undead thing, but he has a connection with an undead thing. It's like you can almost perceive this dark gray line coming off him that appears to be connected to presumably something at the other end of it that is an undead creature.
I see dead things.
Well done.
Sorry, what? Sorry, you see dead things.
Wait,
There's a necromantic string that is going from Jordan to a something.
It's coming off his chest, Jude.
It's in there. I poke him.
It's heading through the floor.
Oh, it's like, does it point in a direction?
Yeah, downward into the floor.
Yeah.
What the hell? How the hell did you see that?
I connected with Gaspard and I cast a little spell.
Paladins.
His eyes go wide. He's like, "You've learned magic?"
Yeah.
Wow.
Jude's
Can
pretty
we
incredible.
follow it?
Can I follow it?
You do not feel like it doesn't. Sorry, when I say it goes through the floor, it's sort of heading that way, but you can't really. The spell does not. This is very broad interpretation of what the spell does.
How long does this?
You would not be able to follow this.
It is a 10-minute spell.
Okay,
sure, but you need to be able to see the other.
I was going to say, could we take Jordan with us to and kind of follow this string almost? But if it's only 10 minutes, that might not work.
As if Jordan was like the thing.
I have another idea, but I don't know if I have any more spell slots.
You have. You burned 2 already today. She did a radiant blast and a divine favor.
Yeah, I think I've already used because we came from the battle, so I've already.
Well, what was your other idea?
To detect poison and diseases.
Ooh.
Because it might be like a curse or like a disease, or there is a dead thing inside of him. Like maybe this monster spewed up some babies and Jordan ate one.
Jordan is looking so uncomfortable. Jordan is looking petrified.
Jordan?
Do you think I'm going to die?
No.
But I
am on the
dead
case.
Babies in me?
No, I'm on the case, Jordan. I am a detective.
Your brother is pregnant.
Yes, with dead things.
What the hell is happening? Trish,
Jordan faints.
When we were fighting those weird-ass shadows in the library, one got a couple of good hits in on me because she's so beautiful and dexterous. And I felt like my strength had been sapped. Not just like, oh, I've gone on a long walk, like really my energy. But once I killed the thing, I felt a lot better. So what I'm saying is maybe when we sort out whatever weirdness is going on, it will make Jordan feel better.
I lift up Jordan. I see it over my shoulder now, yeah?
Sure. So you don't wake him back up?
No.
Sure. He's now over your shoulder. Make a strength check.
Come on, Bennett. You can do it. +1. Damn it. Oh, shit.
Okay, yeah. You can prop him up
simple.
on his feet, but you don't manage to get getting him up onto your shoulder. You shake him so much that he wakes back up again. He's like, and he looks up into your mustachioed face and goes,
I frown. High noon energy all the time.
Benneck, sit him down, please.
I sit him down.
Yeah, you pop him down on one of the bunks, and he's like,
Sit down.
I was worried there for a minute.
Just please.
Okay. I didn't used to do that. I didn't used to faint.
No, we've seen a lot of really shitty stuff, so.
But I don't think it's that. I didn't used to be this fragile. And Jude, you remember he didn't used to be fragile. He used to be he didn't used to, you don't remember him being particularly good at like your dad would train them in warfare. You remember he wasn't a particularly apt student of that, but he wasn't weak. He was just clumsy.
You helped me when I got my ear cut.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're fine with gross things.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, you reek of vulnerability.
Benneck.
Did you cast something on him, or are you just sniffing him?
I'm just sniffing him.
Yeah. He does. He reeks of vulnerability, but it doesn't feel like it smells like actually smells of Jude sweat, to be honest. It's a similar like muffin smell.
It smells like some food that is like ready to go, but it's not quite yet done.
Like undercooked chicken?
Yeah, like undercooked chicken.
Okay.
So Trish raised an incredibly intelligent point before we got sidetracked by all the bullshit.
Yeah, sure.
Trish claims that you were hit and you got weaker.
Yeah, like it sucked my life force. It was weird.
And Jude, you also got hit, correct? In that fight down there?
Yeah.
Did you feel the same, like you lost strength?
Yeah, like my soul was being sucked from me.
Oh yeah, I did notice that. And you got like went paler.
Yeah.
And you were also remembering that the two scribe students looked basically black and white.
That's right. Yeah,
completely drained of all color.
Jordan, do you want to come on an adventure with us where we kill some dead things?
No.
You're no fun.
With the best will in the world, I don't think I'd be very good at it.
Yeah, you just slow us down.
Yeah, I'm also not very healthy right now.
Okay.
Unless you're using
Father's rule number 106. Sometimes a small party is a better party. No dead weight means no dead adventurers.
You monster. He's like, I've only been studying here for about a year. I don't know very much magic yet.
What are you studying, Jordan?
Just doing the general classes at first. But I think I'm going to go into enchanting. I think I want to make enchanted weapons and armor. Like an artificer.
Artififufu. What?
Artificer. Someone who makes swords and shields and weapons that are stronger and sharper.
Cool.
Yeah, I could help that way. And maybe have magic that fires like a catapult.
With Dad.
Maybe not with Dad. Dad probably won't want to see me again.
What happened?
When I told him that I didn't want to be a warrior, he was not happy. And then when I told him that I had been accepted here, he got mad. I went and stayed with Jasper for a while. And Jasper told me that I should come. So I don't know what he told Dad, but I think I have been disowned.
That's bullshit.
Good word use.
I think it's one of the first times I've heard you swear, I think.
Yeah. You should know you have too.
I know.
Yeah.
I kind of figured when I stole the uniform from Judson and then ran away from home that would have been a really bad sign.
Yeah. That was why. Yeah. I don't know if he's heard about you.
I hope not. I've been going by potato sack for a reason.
Yeah. So I'm going to be honest. Jude, I think everyone knows that Jude Potato Sack is the defender of, Jude Littlefoot is the defender of Alderheart. I just couldn't, I'm sorry, but I just couldn't believe it. I figured it was someone else, like a distant cousin. I'm sorry I didn't believe in you.
Jordan, the same way that Dad doesn't believe in you to be a warrior, you can prove him wrong. I'm a lot stronger than my brothers thought that I was. And one day, they will see that. and they will know that every little thing that they did to Jude Littlefoot was incredibly wrong, because it made me stronger than any of them, including Dad.
Your dad sounds like a fucking dick, by the way.
He has his opinions. He's quite scary. He's not always there as well. The others were worse when he wasn't around. And you probably all get the vibe that Jude is not unique in being bullied. And the younger, less able, particularly after Jude left, got the shit kicked out of him as well.
Where are your family now? And are they looking for Jude?
No, I don't think he's looking for Jude. He tends to be busy with his wars.
Plus, he never liked me.
Why do you say that?
Because he never spoke to me.
He was never around.
Yeah, but even when he was, Jordan, he would tell, Julius and Jamal and Jacoby off for doing things, but never actually spoke to me.
Maybe he reminded you of Mama. You reminded him of Mama.
I don't know. I never met Mama.
Yes, you did.
No, she died giving birth to me, Jordan. Why would I have met her?
No, she didn't. Mama left.
What?
Mama, you were maybe 6 months?
Oh, shit.
What?
And they had a fight about something. I don't know. I was very young, but I remember a fight, and the next day she's not there.
But Julius told me that I killed her.
Julius is an ass.
No, I know, but you're telling me Mama's alive?
Yeah.
What?
Well, probably. I don't know where she is.
No.
I don't know what to tell you. There was a letter on the dining table, and Dad got mad, and then I didn't see him for 3 days.
I thought he didn't like me because I killed her.
I don't think he likes many people. But maybe you reminded him of her. I'm sorry. I didn't know that you thought you'd killed her. That would suck to know.
I know that.
I am going to cast the worst curse I can find in the library on Julius when he is such an ass.
Yeah.
That better not be fucking true, Jordan.
What?
Not allowed to cast curses.
Oh, Benneck, you don't have the context. These people are awful.
Really?
Awful.
Still not allowed to cast curses, though.
You're allowed to cast curses, right? Just not like kill the curses. No, I want to make him like smell really bad.
All right, that's fine.
I want to give him like hairy palms.
It's more like a jinx, really. Than that's
yeah. No, I'm not going. He's still my brother.
Jordan
is an ass who was horrible to my sister, but...
Yeah, sure.
Can I just interject for a moment, Jordan? I just want you to know that your sister here, Jude, is one of the bravest people I've ever met in my entire life. My father, who you know, Lazarus, this big, heroic adventurer, he has nothing on Jude. Nothing. Jude has saved my life, has saved Trish's life, has been in the belly of a massive toad, has been knocked unconscious multiple times, has charged into battle, and is just an incredible, incredible Gerbine. And I just need for you to know that. And if you ever see your family again, they should know that as well. And they might not believe you because they sound like a bunch of fucking idiots, but they should know as well how incredible Jude is. She's right. Everything they did to her only made her stronger.
Oh, we have a raid.
What up?
Flabbergino. I really hope that that's what it is. That's great.
Humblewood. I love it.
Well, welcome to Humblewood Raiders. We are just having a deep and meaningful family moment. Jude just found out something fairly heavy-duty about her mum. And, yeah, cool. That was really cool. Well done, Nevermore. I really like that moment. Sorry, Jude, carry on.
Jordan, I know that you tried to help a lot and they locked you in a lot of cupboards, but...
Our house had too many cupboards.
Yeah, I don't know why it had so many cupboards.
Yeah.
We barely used them.
Well, yeah.
But the day that Jamal tore my ear, you were the best brother. I'm sorry that we weren't closer. I feel
I'm sorry
like
that I couldn't help more.
you couldn't help because then you would get the treatment too. They pit us against each other. They made you, someone I could not go to for help. But
he leans forward and hugs you.
oh, okay.
And he lets go. If like as soon as okay, like when you don't seem like okay with it, he lets go. And he's like, I'm sorry.
No, it's her family never hugged, so it's odd. It's weird.
I know. I only saw it when I came here, but I thought I'd give it a go.
Let's get the dead thing out of you and then try again, okay?
Okay, I like that plan. Dead thing out of me. All aboard with that.
Also, do you like muffins?
Muffins are the best, right?
Right? So many muffins here.
Why do we not have them at home?
I do not know.
I don't think the captain likes nice things.
He didn't like sugar.
No.
Which is weird because he needs it.
Okay. So that's a really lovely end for that segment, I think. So yeah, Jordan is not going to go with you. Now that he knows what's wrong with him, he's going to go to the infirmary and say, hey, my sister, who turns out is a paladin, tells me that I have some undead thing. Maybe look for that. Because the trick is they didn't know what to look for. And normally when a teenager comes to you and says, I don't think I can go to class today, I feel sick, you go, yeah, kid, all right, fine. Whatever. You have flu. Go lie down. Like, it's not malpractice. It's just like, sure, another one. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that was fun. Heavy. Fun. Well done, everybody.
Well, practice makes malperfect.
So
Freak of vulnerability.
That was fucked up. Is there anything you do in the room before you leave?
Yeah,
Get a
any
massive
sign that
shit on his bed anyway.
Any sign that the fuck off thing went inside his room?
Oh.
So how would you determine that?
Like I investigated if there's any scratch marks. He said he had like big fuck off claws, right?
Sure. Roll me an investigation.
Can I also do that, please?
You can either do that or you can help Benneck do it.
I will help Benneck.
Benneck instead
15.
gets an advantage then. 15. Ooh, that is the score you needed. So you, Benneck, you have a look around. It doesn't look like it came inside, but you go, obviously, you check the window, and on the outside of the window, just below the level of the window, you see some scratch marks in the trunk of the tree. Like claw marks, you would say.
All right. I point that out to everybody.
They are quite widely spaced, and yeah. You were about 60 feet up.
Did Jordan say that the claws were like big, as in like one big like hooked claw per arm?
No, he didn't give you a particularly detailed description. He was very fixated on the eyes because there was 4 of them and they glowed, which I think is fair.
Can I tell from the spacing if it is like?
It's too large to be a person. Okay. No, there are 3 claw marks on each side, and they are far too widely spaced to be a person.
All right,
like a human or a bird folk or a humble folk sized person.
And I might have to go down there, but does it look like where it left the mark, like the tree or whatever, like is dying around it? Like, did it leave?
Make an Arcana check on that spot.
Okay.
No, but it does look like, no, if anything, it's grown over.
What? Like
it's been, like if you, like, you've seen, if you see someone scar, like if someone carve their name in a tree and then they come back 5 years later, it's sort of, the bark has grown into it a little bit and it's almost covered it up, like that.
Okay.
But it was 4 days ago.
Right. And the tree usually doesn't recover that quickly.
Well, it's a dead tree.
Is someone trying to hide the evidence?
Oh, you mean the Avium tree?
Yes, this is the tree of the Avium itself.
I
the outer bark, the stone of the tree, the petrified tree, it appears to have been healed.
That's fucking weird. I say what I think to the party, including the healing part, etc.
A lot of this is very suspicious.
Yeah.
I think we need to speak to this other witness and then speak to these teachers because something strange is happening and time is of the essence. Is weird magic school. This school is whack. Nevermore. I thought there was going to be lots of smart people here, but you're vandalizing books. You've got skeletons running around that, I should trust. Clearly not.
It was a lot cooler when I was here, but it seems like the quality of students has gone downhill since then.
Boy.
Clearly.
Nevermore.
No offense to present company.
Sorry, Benneck. I mean, you're cool.
And Jordan's like, no, that's fair.
No, it's not. Jordan, do not take that from Nevermore.
But he's
gotta be an enchantment.
But he's Nevermore.
He's an arrogant Corvin.
Just say he's poor.
Fair.
I really get it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go to the infirmary.
Please do.
Okay.
Yeah, take care of yourself.
I will. Good to see you, Jude.
You too.
So yeah, you do that. You go to look for her name is Gel Platena.
Gel Platena.
Yeah. I didn't make it up. She's from the book. Don't give me any shit about it.
Sounds like a distant cousin of Garp, but okay.
No, fuck you. She's in the book. Garp is a literary reference and you're all plebs.
Gel Platena.
Jelly placenta. Which way?
Yeah. Yeah. It takes you to nowhere because she's not a person. If you say it properly, there you are. It leads you to one of the floating libraries in the upper branches, or the not branches, but the upper sort of reaches of the tree. It's quite a ways up. Your ears pop on the way up. I wonder if birds' ears pop.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Probably not. I would have. Yeah, but Jude and Trish, you're like, every time. You learn to have to
imagine
yawn.
Birds would be quite against flying if their ears popped all the time.
Yeah, no. Well, they don't have. Yeah, it's really just a hole in their head, isn't it? Anyway, so yeah, you get there. She's in one of the smaller libraries. She is doing research into evocation magic. It's an evocation library. But she is wearing, and this is mildly interesting, a dark red robe. When you get in there, she was a Sarah Luma. Dark red means sorceress, not wizard. And yeah, and AJ, this is the person I sent to you.
Yep.
Because I'm diversifying and putting the load on other people to do some of the NPC voices because I've run out.
Does my mustache stay at high altitudes?
Yeah, absolutely. This is not wizardry. This is Scroungecraft. That shit lasts forever.
Oh,
you're going to struggle to get it off.
Mustache you can keep, buddy. That's a mustache for life if you want it.
This isn't some sort of...
Oh, did you use the super glue again, Trish? What the hell?
You boiled down a couple of the hooves of one of the creatures you killed earlier on. I don't know. Right. So yeah, you go in. You find her in a library. She is a Sarah Luma, which is a dove-like person, wearing a dark red robe. And you go in. You see her. Yeah.
Jill, is that you?
Oh, hello.
Oh. Hello. We're looking for you. It's Jill Platena, correct?
Yes.
Look, we're just investigating something, and we've been pointed in your direction by the Dean. We have a question about something you experienced the other day, something to do with the weird activities from the undead around here. Could you please fill us in?
Right. Well, I was finishing up my extra credit assignment for Professor Leach within the potions lab when something strange happened. The servitors were cleaning up the lab. They stopped, walked out of the lab, went towards the crossing platform. I was curious, so I followed them. It looked like they were heading into the lower library. I would have followed them down, but I don't have access to the lower levels. I filed a notice with the administration that day, but I figured that was, on them. So I didn't hear anything back. I guess might have been a planned drill or maintenance or something.
What time exactly was this?
Oh,
Would have been early evening.
Early evening?
So outside of class hours?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Class just finished.
I see. And they just randomly hopped up and took off down towards the lower library.
Yeah.
Anything else of note?
Not really. Don't really know much more. I mean, like I said, I passed on the notice and that was it.
Passed who the notice, sorry?
Oh, to the board, to the, administration.
Okay. Of course, sorry.
So
she would have given it in at the front desk.
I see.
Okay.
So, if anyone were to know about skeletons, it would be Professor Nightseed.
You're correct in that. Absolutely. Look, if there's nothing else that you can really share with us, insight. Is there any sort of deception there in any way, misleading us to go the wrong direction, misdirection, or anything like that?
See a bit.
Oh, she is shady as fuck.
Don't know.
Anyone with that accent? No. No, Benneck, Nevermore, she seems completely on the level. Benneck, it does occur to you that, she's genuinely trying to be as helpful as possible. It's why she mentioned Professor Nightseed. She has no evidence that it's Professor Nightseed, except that Professor Nightseed, and you know this, is the person who makes the skeletons. And one of the
Thank you very much for your time.
That's command them. Cool. Yeah, that's basically it. Thanks, AJ.
So the things went into the lower library.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an exit from the lower library out into the rest of the world? Because does the time line up with when we were attacked?
It was the day before you arrived. And sorry, that piece of information wasn't in there. I didn't give it away, so yeah, it would have been the day before you arrived.
A couple of days ago.
So the skeletons went down to the lower library a couple of days before we arrived.
Could have set it up.
Maybe to steal books or pages from books.
Are they smart enough to do that? They seem kind of, like, can they read?
But what if they were, told to do so?
They can read.
They can read? Okay.
They can
I
assess.
can't read.
They can assess.
They can't read.
They can't
They wouldn't
read.
be able.
They
They
can
wouldn't be able
assess.
to. They wouldn't be able to logically determine what pages contained what kind of text.
No, unless they were told what page to tear out. If you gave it an instruction to go and tear out page 412.
So they can read numbers.
Somebody would have had to have gone in and read all
Well,
those.
they can count.
Interesting question, though, Trish, whether or not there is a way of leaving the lower library from somewhere else. Maybe
you recall
Mordane
that the
would know
dean
that.
said, "I have no idea." Like the dean said, this place was built by powerful wizards hundreds of years ago. I have no
Right.
idea what those old codgers did.
Well, maybe Mordane might know, but maybe we have to go investigate the lower library after we've talked to Ravanya.
Maybe there's a trapdoor.
Probably.
Don't you open that trapdoor.
Trapdoor! Burning me
That's what
down
I
the cunt. Oh no, that's a different one.
But I asked as well if Jill saw like how many of them were there? Like, did we kill them?
7 skeletons. Okay.
Oh,
7. I saw 7 of them.
I would know because I saw the skeletons. They didn't look like the servitor skeletons. Like
Oh, they had armor.
dressed, right? Yeah. Okay.
They were not robed and they were wearing armor.
Okay.
Well, bits of armor, not very much.
Wait, hang on. Those skeletons in particular that were in the... Why would they be wearing armor?
Well, they
Like, did they usually wear armor around?
No.
Wait. Were the ones
Oh,
that
wait, the ones that attacked us were
Yeah, the
wearing
ones that
armor.
attacked you.
Okay.
They were also
Oh,
wearing
oh.
armor, no?
No,
That's what I meant.
Jell isn't saying that they're the ones wearing armor.
Oh.
The ones that she
Okay,
saw were wearing servitor robes. The
Oh,
ones that
okay.
attacked you were wearing armor and had weapons. The servitors do not.
Yeah,
Got it.
if they were the same skeleton, somebody would have needed to put armor on them.
Or told them to put armor.
Oh.
Yeah.
Someone
good.
is building an army of skeletons that can do what they want them to.
Or like
Let's go
hijacking
talk
them,
to
or like
Ravanya, maybe.
Nightseed is the one who
Sorry,
raises
who?
them. Professor Nightseed.
Nightseed. Oh, I thought you said something else.
No. Is
Okay.
it really hard? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The accent, it's really hard to understand you.
Oh, is
Delightful
it?
but confusing.
I get that sometimes.
Cool.
Perhaps we
So
should
where are
go
you going?
on
Ravanya or Nightseed?
Ravanya.
Okay. You head up to Professor Ravanya. This is the same room that Jude went to before. Where are we? There it is. Ravanya is in his classroom at a table that appears to be specifically prepared for divination. It's actually, so Jude, the last time you were here, all 6 desks were pushed to the side. This is 4 of those desks pulled together in the middle, but with no chairs. All the chairs are still at the sides of the room. Benneck, you may have been in here once or twice, and you were aware that this room undergoes regular, like, moving around. It's rarely the same two sessions in a row. There is little evidence of the ritual that he performed for you, Jude, though the mattress painting has been moved and hung in a different spot. And he is performing some kind of ritual. He is up on the desks, kneeling on the desks, with a small set of animal bones and a bowl of pink water as the party enters. And next to him on the desk is a small sign saying, "Please allow me 2 minutes and 13 seconds to complete this sending."
All right, let's just sit and wait. Well, stand and wait. Don't sit. Stand and wait. Please do not disrupt anything on the floor. Just observe, everybody.
Okay.
This is magic.
Jude is at the like very back of the group and is just sort of half shivering.
Yeah. Jude, you actually would feel, I don't like telling you how you feel, but you would feel an echo of Helvig's panic, as well as your own fear in that. However, Jude would be feeling, you are also getting a small amount of that residual.
Jude has very short fingernails right now.
Fair. After 2 minutes and 14 seconds, he looks up and says, "Apologies. Thank you for waiting. You have come to discuss my visions."
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, he's so good. God damn.
Or potentially the dean informed him. One of those things.
The dean knows he is not needing to tell me things that I already know. So, I have had the same vision now for 3 weeks. Where is it? I have performed it daily, this augury. And despite consulting my own Neurocritica very thoroughly, and he gestures at all the books in all the bookshelves around the room, which basically there is no open wall. It's either paintings or bookshelves. And all I can guess is that the first line, I should tell you what it is, I suppose, thirst. So he actually says, wait, better would be to show you. He flips the bowl off the table.
No?
Pink water goes everywhere. This is significantly less invasive mastered potato sack. I promise this may even help your residual feelings. Override it. You may leave if you don't want to witness.
Dude.
But it is gentle. He takes the bones off the plate that he'd had them on, however, and scatters them. And they begin to fall towards the table, but they halt in midair and begin to rearrange themselves into forms and shapes that remind you of a rune, but not the rune that you're used to seeing and hearing the spell, the sound of. No impetus to dance here. A very soft voice, Ravania's voice, but very soft, and oddly, his mouth isn't moving, as he pulls out his blue gem and starts swaying it from side to side. These runes form various shapes, and they are what's making the noise. It says, "A dark heart lies among the white and gray, but in the dimness it is hard to say. Who is friend and who is foe? The master will, the monster woe."
Wheel as in W-E-A-L?
Wheel, W-E-A-L, yes. I'm unsure what to make of it. I would guess the first line might hint the threat comes from someone people on campus trust. a student, perhaps a faculty member, maybe. But
Wait. The first line was, a dark heart lies upon the white and grey.
I will copy paste it into your chat.
Like the tree of the Avium is white and grey.
That is true.
So, I see. So the tree, the Avium tree is white and grey. Okay.
Like somebody is the dark heart in the Avium.
And are there any particular...
he says, this is a possible interpretation I had not considered seriously because the way my... Benneck, you are knowing a little of how prognostication works. You require... a lot of it is shrouded in metaphor. And a lot of more professional diviners, they are holding, making notes, extensive notes, and he gestures at the books of their own personal metaphor. Things that make sense to them, leaps of logic, dreams, that sort of thing. We keep extensive notes. And you would notice that none of the books on any of the shelves have titles up their spines. These are all notepads, notebooks. It would not be a massive leap to say that he has handwritten all of them. And there are probably a couple of thousand. He says, my personal interpretation system, I rarely see the outside of the Avium, so I don't really think of it as the white and gray. I am thinking this is a person.
What color robes signify white and gray in terms of schools of magic?
White is clerics, and gray is, of course, necromancers.
Is there anybody who dabbles in both, or has...
He smiles a little bit and says, they would not thank you for pointing it out, but a lot of what clerics do could broadly be described as meddling between life and death. However, another thought occurs. Your own friend, Jude here, is white with a little gray. I am not accusing of you, but there are many people in this building alone who are plumed or furred in other ways, white and gray.
But you're saying though that your visions is colored by your own personal perception, right?
Your bias, yes.
So, well, do you think like people like Jude, you would consider it like white and gray?
Yes, I would. It's a very literal translation of it, though. The building itself, I am trying to help a little bit because I am thinking, saying there's something bad in the Avium. I think you already know this, yes?
Oh God, yes.
I unfortunately cannot scry when you are underground, but I am not unfamiliar with your other activities.
And wheel is good and woe is bad, if I remember right from...
This is correct.
The master wheel, the monster woe.
Can I ask a question? And I'm sure it is really stupid.
No such thing as a
is
stupid question, except for that one that Trish asked earlier. Continue.
Please, my friend.
Well, there is a lot of monsters that we have seen lately, and I do know that I am a white Jardine, and so is my brother, who just saw a monster a few days ago. But also, the ash that we see,
Grey.
Gray and white, right?
Not a lot of it here, but yes. That's saying that it feels. I don't think this is actually a stupid suggestion. However, I once again point to you to this. Unfortunately, is my vision, and not yours. If it was your vision and you were seeing this, then that would be a very logical leap to make. I, however, have little experience with the Scorched Grove. Very few of my Honor Critica feature ash at all, actually. It's not something that features a lot in my metaphor, if that makes sense. But a good thought.
Do you have visions outside in the sense that you are able to see happenings?
I'm very capable of
outside?
casting my brain outside the avium, yes. Limiting oneself to a single building would not make for a very good seer.
Tell me if you're able to do any of these following things at all with your incredible skills. Are you able to see the other evening, and I'll detail the evening that Jordan witnessed the thing outside the tree? I'll ask if he's able to cast his mind to that time outside of the tree to see something climbing up the tree, whether or not he's able to determine what it was and where it went.
Yep. He says I can do this.
What color robes does Jordan wear?
Orange.
Enchanters, yeah.
Okay.
That's the first thing. Second thing, are you able to, well, I'll give him the precise time that we were in the library when we were attacked, and whether or not somebody wearing white or grey came into the library. And I understand you can't see into the library, but presumably you have the ability to view things going towards or down the stairs or whatever into the library. Whether or not somebody in white or grey went around that time.
Well, so he might. Like, what if the library's like wards weakened in that moment?
And finally, where was Nightseed at? And then I'll detail the time when the skeletons hopped up and then walked down to the library. Are you able to tell where Nightseed was at that specific time? Because if
he will, yeah, he says, I will try. Though it is worth noting that most of the faculty ward their personal quarters.
So if they were in their personal quarters, you would know that that was where they were? Or
I would
they would
not
just
be able to see them.
I see. And probably the same thing if they're in the library.
Again, true. You would perhaps be able to see them moving between the places, but
I was, after class, perhaps making their way, but
teleportation is certainly a thing, though.
Oh.
And I know Gilda prefers it as a method of transportation.
Damn wizards, am I right?
This is a problem, but I will try. So
thank you.
He says, would you pass me the bowl, please?
Yes.
That he flipped off the table before. He pops it back down, and he has not gotten up from his kneeling position the entire time. He is kneeling in the manner of a sort of someone meditating, sort of knees together and legs bent underneath him. His back is quite straight. He's got really good posture. Jude, the last time you saw him, he was really haggard and old looking. He looks fine again. He looks like he's recovered from the experience, basically. So remind me what the three questions were. As he pours out, he waves his hand through the air, and basically a bowl full of water just appears and sloshes into the bowl. And then he puts his hand across it, sort of waves his hand across the bowl, and it turns, this time a green, sort of a bright green. And he looks at it and goes, Like he's mildly surprised at the color that it came.
First question. Outside the tree at Jordan's window at this approximate time, can you see anything?
He throws the bones into the air above the bowl and then tips the bowl up on its side, and the water stays in it to show you the bowl. And he closes his eyes, then he opens them, and his eyes have gone white, just pupilless white. And you see an outside view of the Avium wall at that time. It's you can probably see about 50 feet of wall, and centered in the middle of it is a window. And after about 30 seconds, initially it seems like it's sped up. There is rain, there is actually lightning. And crawling up the side of it very, very rapidly is this dark creature. You would guess skeletal, but big. From the scale, you would guess, what Jordan described, 10, 12 feet. It climbs using 6 limbs, 2 legs, 4 sets of 4 arms. The claws are huge, and its head is hard to describe. It looks like the bottom half of 2 sets of jaws, like the bottom half of the top half of a bird folk's head. So with the beak and everything, 2 of them have been taken and put together to be the top half and bottom half. And all 4 eye sockets have glowing eyes in them, red glowing eyes. As it comes into view, the vision slows down, like he's basically fast forwarded through an entire evening and got to the bit that he wanted. It claws up past the window, then comes back down. And as it's going back down past, the window opens and you see Jordan's face. Then the window closes as Jordan faints backwards. You can see him make eye contact with the creature, and then he just faints backwards. The creature goes up and pulls the window closed with one of its claws, and gets its claw sort of caught in the window, closing it because it closed inwards, and pulls. And can you make me a perception check, because it's very small, it's not a big bowl.
I'm also wondering whether or not what the image that I see through my blue eye socket is any different from the image that I...
in this instance, no, it's not.
Cool.
Benneck, you would notice.
What do my vulture eyes see?
Benneck, you see, it's very appropriate that you notice this. One of the bones in its claw hand comes loose, and it retreats down the trunk. The bone it was stuck in the door. It was stuck in the window.
But we didn't see any.
No, but you opened the window again.
Oh, it might have fallen.
Oh, fallen to the ground at the base of the tree. Okay. Maybe we should go check that out after this.
What was the next one?
Next one was anybody in white and grey that was entering the library at approximately the time that we were assaulted.
The vision switches to the library entrance. The golems standing on either side of it, the 2 bird folk statue golems. And occasionally you see people walk past, but you don't see anybody walk down, and the vision, you would guess, runs for about a couple of hours. What was the third?
The third was, where was Nightseed? Presumably after leaving class that day, did they go back to their accommodation, or did they do something else? Was there anything off about them? Or anybody in close proximity, I suppose?
The day the skeletons started misbehaving.
Correct, yes.
Right, yeah. it switches to the exterior of her tower. But as it goes to the front, it sort of zooms into the front door. It passes through the door and then it goes back to green, and it stays bright green for a few seconds, and then the water falls out of the bowl, and the bones drop to the tabletop, and Ravania says, "Sorry, that one is no. She was inside, and the woman rarely leaves her apartments. If she was in there, she was in there, or she was in the library, and she did not travel between the two, except possibly by teleporting."
Do you know Nightseed very well?
I would not claim to, no.
Oh.
But I would say I know them all quite well, much better than they know me. I know this from, well, professional courtesy. I try not to spy. But I think there is a degree of concern that I do that. So they are all a little standoffish with me. And I have learned to accept this.
Right.
It kind of sucks, dude, not gonna lie.
What does?
Well, your colleagues being standoffish about you because, you're good at spying, which you are, but
there is a lack of trust, yes.
I mean, if people didn't have anything to hide, they shouldn't be concerned, really, if you think about it.
It's privacy as well, though. I try not to intrude. I understand their issues, but we are all a strange breed here. If there was a single professor here who did not have a skeleton or two in their closet, pardon the metaphor, possibly a poor choice of words, but we are adept magic users, curious minds, inquisitive people. We are scholars. You yourself, Nevermore, I'm sure you know the type. We are people who don't necessarily want other people getting up in our business. I'm sure they all have something they wish to hide. And I'm not inclined to go looking for it, but you can say that 100 times. It doesn't make someone necessarily believe you.
Yeah.
Professor, you would know better than any if you have anything more that you wish to share with us before we should go explore at the bottom of the tree and look for this bone that we found. Potentially we can bring it to somebody who might be able to do something with it.
Oh, or you. Do you think that'll be useful to you? If you can
I would be able to determine what it is, where it came from, but not beyond. Obviously, it was necromancy. But beyond that, I couldn't tell you what was done to it. Not in my area. Unfortunately, the best place to go
would be
Nightseed. Probably the most suspicious place.
I think Nightseed might be our next port of call.
Let's just get the bone first, though.
Of course, and Nightseed might be able to do something more.
She would be able to tell you if anyone can. Well, I think it is a good place to leave it there, and we have a small break.
If it makes you feel any better, I would have picked divination as my third choice, but I think you already know that. Bye.
I did not. And I think you are wasted on what you chose, but this is a shame, and the path you chose.
I was never going to take divination.
No, you were not. No.
I know everything already.
Like a dark wave, seems to just wash over Benneck for a hot sec as he takes in the maybe abjuration was not your call. Maybe you will lead that to regret, and just keeps walking.
I'll just point at my eye before we walk out as well, and I'll just say, "Wheel or woe?"
Both.
Great. Thanks for that.
Unfortunately, you rarely get one without the other.
Yes.
It very much depends. And he is looking at you intently. His eyes are now a bright blue, like glowing internal radiance. And he is visibly aging. No, he's not speaking. He's not speaking that unless you're speaking it to him. He says, unfortunately.
I said, are you okay in Celestial?
Yeah, he is not. He said, no, I am not. But you wanted to know whatever it is, it matters how you deal with it to use it, whether it is good or bad.
That makes sense.
Weal or woe is yet to be determined. And there are some choices I can't see past.
Thank you for your time, Professor.
He slumps to the desk. His feathers have gone almost white.
Oh.
He looks like he's aged about 60 years.
Can we send you some food or refreshments?
I will summon some. Thank you.
Okay.
Jude takes out a muffin and puts it on his desk.
Does he feel like he's about to die? Like,
no.
Does he just hit his, and that's the lifespan?
He looks, currently, your expert eye would say he's got no more than a couple of years.
Dude.
He looks at you and says, I will recover. That one took it out of me, though. Whatever it is very, very powerful. And he takes the muffin and breaks it in half and takes the top and bottom and throws the bottom away and takes the top. The bottom is never the good bit. You want the top bit.
At least give it back. Don't throw it.
Yeah.
I mean, he knew you were going to catch it.
It bounces off the mattress and into Jude's hand.
Divination's whack.
You are wasted.
Right.
You had a fine mind. Jude, Mr. Master Potato Sack, I want to apologize for before. I sometimes see things I wish I had not. And I occasionally show other people things we both wish they had not seen.
I got the answers I needed.
I am just sorry that I had to be the one to give them.
It's okay.
He nods and pounds the muffin. And we'll take a break. We'll take a break there.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, welcome back to Roll for Damage and the Humblewood. We just had a short break, and we are getting back into it. So, the party goes down to the bottom of a tree. They find a bone. Make me a perception check or investigation. Two of you.
I'd like to do a...
I'm quite good at investigate.
I'm very good at perception. I am
it would be the people who spotted the thing in the first place. It would be Benneck and Jude.
Go for it.
Okay. Come on. It's a bone.
14.
It's
21.
Bone.
Yeah, you guys, Benneck's the one who finds it. But Jude would have certainly been on the case if Benneck hadn't.
I found it.
Yeah,
you found
did.
a twig. Yeah, Benneck picks it up, and Jude goes, "I found it." Yeah, it is. Benneck, your experienced eye. This is not a claw. It is a claw. It's shaped like a claw, but your experienced eye knows that this is not a claw from a creature. This is a wing bone of a bird folk that has been crafted into a claw.
Ugh.
Yeah.
God.
It's a wing bone that turned to a claw. Yeah,
It's about a foot long.
Oh my God.
So it's modified. The bone has been modified into something else.
Yeah,
Carved.
that's right.
You would guess carved.
Oh.
So there is a creature that is turning bones into monsters, like a hobby.
12-foot tall amalgamation of a bunch of skeletons, all put together into one thing, probably. Given the look that we saw with the whole two top heads kind of thing with the four eyes, I'm starting to think, I mean, I feel like I know what it is, but I also don't know whether or not Nevermore is familiar with this, so can I make some sort of check?
Yeah, make an Arcana check.
Benneck,
Yeah.
where would you find bones here at the school?
Normally we don't deal with that kind of stuff.
Well,
When you have finished eating the flesh off of bones, where do you put them?
Well,
question.
usually the offal I get are boneless, just so it like goes down easier.
Yeah, offal doesn't have bones in it. Offal being the innards of creatures.
But what about...
But I'm sure we can just ask around. Where do I think bones would be at?
There is a refuse. There would be like trash. A lot of it gets recycled for the druids. Like there would be like a couple of the kitchen staff would be druids that would basically it gets handed to the druid professor.
A cool compost.
Who make compost out of it basically. So yeah, it all gets recycled. It's all very green. So a lot of it would be broken down into compost for one of the terrariums.
I suspect we might be dealing with, those two big golem statues on either side of the stairs down to the library.
You've heard of constructs. With your 15,
I feel like it might be
construct.
some sort of bone construct, because it's definitely more than one skeleton. I think potentially we need to go talk to Nightseed.
Yeah. So you head up to Nightseed's. You have to wait for about 15 minutes. Now, what would be 4:30 at this point? It's coming towards the end of the day. She may well be teaching. Would you wait until after?
We would have gone Professor Nightseed. And
sure. It actually doesn't take you to her tower.
Oh.
It takes you to one of the orbiting structures, but not her tower. Again, you have to go higher up. This is, it is, how to describe it? It's a stone building perched on a little plinth of rock. It is basically a box, but a castle, but just a little castle.
Like
Square-sided, rectangle-sided with crenellated watch post on the top, but it's not a watch post at all. It is functionally a little castle. It's got a little gatehouse. It's all basically like miniature, like a child's representation of what a castle looks like, sort of thing, made of stone, and loads of narrow slit windows for arrows, and within it, she is teaching a class. In fact, she is just telling them all that they can close up their books and leave. It is a second-year class, about 24 younger students, and who she has been instructing in the rudiments of necromancy. On the blackboard, it is very sort of think last century, sort of like 1940s, 1950s style English classroom. So like wooden desks, chalkboard, everybody sort of hunched over their desk, inkwells, like the whole shebang. Very much like my old school actually in England. She is saying like, now read pages 14 through 73 this evening, and we shall have a test on the subject in 2 days' time when I see you again. Thank you. The board is covered in anatomical diagrams of various creatures, but it's just the bones of them. and she's clearly been having an animated lecture about them. In a couple of cases on either side of the teacher's desk are a couple of just inanimate objects. You would guess from your early experience with her, these are deodans. She just likes to have a couple around. She appears to dote on them like in the manner of a pet. And she says, "Oh, hello. Good afternoon. Well, you how fortunate you called me just after a class. Yes, see you in 3 days. Bye-bye. Is there anything how can I help?"
We have a couple of questions for you, Professor Nightseed, if you have a few moments.
Oh, I'm sure I can spare the time. Certainly. She sits back down in a chair. It's not a big, super comfy chair. It is just a wooden, high-backed chair. Sits down and says, "Please, please."
How familiar are you with the recent going-ons with regards to some spooked students and such?
Not hugely.
Okay.
There have been spooked students.
Yes. Can you tell me what this might come from? And we'll reveal the bone talon thing.
She holds it up in two claws and goes, "Thank goodness." Raptor. No. Streak. Wingbone. Tibula. Wherever did you find it?
We found it on the ground, and then I'll just basically go into detail as to what had happened. I'm not hiding anything at all.
No.
I'm just being quite clear about the fact that there has been some skeletal creature climbing up. It had this particular effect on Jordan. And yeah, I'm curious, does this sound familiar to you in any way, shape, or form? In terms of like what spell might be used?
Her demeanor has completely changed.
Mm-hmm.
She is looking... Roll me an insight, please.
I did, and it was a 10.
Which is why I'm asking Nevermore to do it.
Oh,
Trish.
So I'll roll as well.
Jude,
I feel left out.
Jude, well, no. I don't like any more than two people making the
It's
check.
fine. I just for fun. Ignore my roll.
I will. I really wanted Nevermore to because he's the one having the conversation. It's normally the person who kicks the check off and one other person is the way I normally do it. So I'll be taking Jude and Nevermore's because they were the Nevermore and then the first person to make one, which would be Jude. But I will allow Trish's as well in this instance. So she seems deeply unsettled by this information, and she is looking at you all like she is concerned. Trish, you can see her mind going shit, like
Okay.
Unsettled guilty or unsettled?
Just unsettled. This is really horrible information. And she's looking at the claw in her hand, all of a sudden like it's not nice. Like before, she was not fazed by holding the bone of a person's arm that has clearly been carved into a claw shape. She wasn't bothered by that. And then she starts sort of...
Look, I'm going to be very clear with you, Professor, if I may. We were attacked by some form of undead specters down in the library, probably while you were teaching. So,
when? What time?
And I'll give the precise time.
She says, "Nope, I wasn't teaching then.
What were you doing?"
"I was in my apartments."
So, and I'll just continue on.
Without an alibi.
Of course. So, we were attacked by something undead. And also, just as an additional note, we were attacked by undead as we were even making our way towards the Avium. Skeletons came out and attacked us. They were somewhat kitted out in armor. I'll describe them.
Yep.
Dead
folk skeletons. Not dissimilar from any of the ones I reanimate.
Mm-hmm. Now, we've obviously had a number of run-ins with undead, and you are the
necromancy professor.
Necromancer.
Exactly. I'm one of the few people in the building famously capable of raising the dead.
Yes, and you seem... I'm getting the impression you're not liking where all this is leading.
It's very convenient, isn't it?
It is. What do you know that can help us right now?
May I? And she points at the bone.
Please.
She waves a hand over it and casts detect magic on it.
Mm-hmm.
Necromancy. I mean, hardly surprising. Quite high-level necromancy. This is a custom job. Whoever did this knew their stuff, is quite possibly as good a necromancer as I am, to be honest.
Do you know anyone who is that powerful?
Not in the Avium. A couple of rogues. I would say I've had 2 students in the last 40 years who would be capable of something like this.
Who are
and
they?
Neither of them are anywhere near here, as far as I'm aware. One went off westward. He hasn't been heard of in, 30 years. Took off over the ocean, hasn't been seen or heard from. The other graduated 15 years ago. And we had a tiff, actually. Last we spoke, we disagreed on some very fundamental points about what is right and wrong regarding the raising of the dead. She was dear.
Sorry, she was dear, as in
she was
dear.
dear. Yes,
I see.
That's what she means. She doesn't clarify, but she nods.
Could anybody, out of curiosity, knowing the clerical arts, be able to control anything?
You can control any faculty member and any senior student really could control the instruct the servitors, but not to leave the Avium, and certainly not to disrobe, arm themselves, and attack anybody outside the Avium.
And is it an instruction that needs to be delivered in person, or is it an instruction that can be, and that I will explain
Trish,
the fact
Trish,
that
make another insight check, and Nevermore, because you're asking, you can do it with advantage.
Sure, I will ask. I'll mention the fact that 7 skeletons just up and left and headed down into the lower library.
Trish, a thought has just occurred to her. Not one that she likes.
Ooh, 18. Yay.
Yeah, Nevermore, you're too intent on this conversation, your own line of reasoning. Trish is sitting back and watching, and that's why Trish is like, yeah, she's just had a thought. She sits and thinks and says, sorry, what? What did you just say?
What's on your mind, Professor?
Make a persuasion check, Trish.
Ugh.
She's nothing. There isn't a really. You would have to convince them to do if it is the 7. If the 7 you described, if the 7 gel platena spotted doing unusual things when at a time that I have no alibi for, are the same ones that attacked you the following day, someone would have had to basically dismantle the incantations that raised them and put in whole new governing systems, granting them significantly more free will, to be honest. And once again, Trish, she looks like shit.
Why did you get the Necronomicon out the other day?
What?
You heard me.
I am the professor of necromancy. It is a very powerful tome of necromancy. I wanted to look something up.
And you couldn't do it down there. You
All of the
specifically took
rest
it out of the library, oddly enough.
Yes, I did. All of the rest of my research is up here. I returned it when I was finished with it.
It's not there anymore.
It's gone.
I'll turn and look at Trish. Trish seems to be ready to say something.
If I was to steal it, why would I steal it? I can borrow it. As I proved the day before, I can take it out whenever I like. Why steal it?
You've noticed yourself, Professor, that all of the clues seem to point very conveniently towards you. Is there anyone you can think of who might want to frame you for something?
Not specifically. But if anybody else is, well, somebody else is doing necromancy here at this school. But of course, I would say that. And if that is the case, then they need a patsy. I'm the only other person in the probably hemisphere capable of doing that, whatever that was. And you can see genuine revulsion on her face. You don't even need to insight this. That is, she is legit disturbed by what that claw is and what it represents.
So it's not vindictive against you. You're just a convenient excuse.
It might be.
Okay.
I'm not very popular, but I don't think I'm disliked so much as, well, look, all the faculty are a little odd. I know I have my habits. A lot of people think my obsession with death is weird, but it's not. I've heard it called an obsession with death. I wouldn't agree with that assessment. I am intrigued by it and other people's relationship with it. So I suppose my obsession is more with people than with death. But that is a nuanced opinion, and very few people are capable of nuance when they're looking for someone to blame. I'm afraid if they are, and one assumes they are, trying to point the finger squarely at me, they're doing an excellent job.
It certainly seems like it. We encountered a young Gerbine earlier who had some sort of effect over them. This effect, there was almost like there was a cord or a string leading from them, and it was disappearing into the ground as if it was leading towards and being connected towards something else.
That makes sense. Such a creature would require an awful lot of strength to maintain, vampiric in nature. I would imagine it's feeding off the poor boy's life force.
Are you able to follow such a connection? Is that something you're capable of doing with your skills? Because everything seems to be pointing towards the lower library at this point in time.
Josh wants to be very clear here. This is not a persuasion check in that you are trying to... she has to be convinced to help. This is a persuasion check in... in this instance, it would be persuasion to what I'm asking. So make a persuasion check, please. But it's not to convince her to help.
So it's a 10. I don't know why it rolled with advantage.
If you're using Roll20, it always rolls twice.
Oh.
And you can, if you have advantage or disadvantage, you can choose the appropriate one. She says, I'm afraid, without knowing, it's something I could follow the other way, but not. So if it had bewitched a person, I could follow it from the creature to the person, but I couldn't backtrack it, I'm afraid. Again, very inconveniently for me.
And what about severing it? What would happen to the young Jabin?
He'd recover. Greater restoration would solve it. Lesser restoration, I'm afraid, would not.
And the thing that was connected to him, will it have lost energy or power in any way if that connection is severed?
It would only be able to... he will recover from the experience, but it wouldn't regain everything that was taken. It would have to find someone new to bind itself to and suck the life from. She said it with a degree of vitriol as well. She is grossed out by this. Like, this is not her kind of necromancy. Hashtag not my necromancy.
And I just like to check. I know you checked out the claw and you figured out that it was necromancy, but like a different school of magic can't be used as a substitute in this particular instance, like enchantment, for example.
Or conjuration.
Or that.
No. You could transmute it? There are several ways to achieve the result, but actually giving something life, that's necromancy. You could, with conjuration, make something that looks similar. With transmutation, you could build something that looks similar. With enchantment, you could cobble together something that acts in a similar way. But actually imbuing it with life force. You could make it move around and act and do what the things you want, but actually making it be able to take actions on its own and suck the life from something else, I'm afraid that is necromancy. And not the nice kind.
I hope you understand we're going to have to go to the Dean with this information, yes?
What information?
Well, everything we've learned in the last couple hours. We've spoken to you, we've spoken to Rivania, we've spoken to...
What have I to fear?
Nothing. If you've done nothing wrong, then you have nothing to fear. But anything you can do to assist us in potentially what we're going to be facing, anything at all.
One more persuasion check.
Roll, you little monkey. Roll good, please. 15.
Ooh. She is debating with herself here. If anybody has Trish specifically, actually, you're the one who's on top of how she's feeling. She has clearly got some internal turmoil. Do you have anything to add?
Several students have already been killed by whatever's going on, and I would hate for any more to go that way.
She stops and looks at you. She's sort of... The internal debate stops. I shall tell you something then. This is going to make me look worse, not better. So I wouldn't be telling you it if it had anything to do with it. What I would ask, however, is that it does not get to the Dean, because it's not relevant.
All right.
But I will tell you it because I think I trust you. I will tell you why I took out the Necronomicon. I have been doing some research, as is my wont as a researcher. I have been researching ways to improve the way we build our servitors, make them last longer, make them capable of more complicated tasks, imbue them with a little bit more life. To that end, I have been experimenting with different incantations, different methods of summoning, to give them greater faculties on par with the living. However, with very strong restrictions in place on their actions. They're limited in their action, but capable of more independent thought. Far more useful if you say, what we currently have, you can tell to chop an onion. But one of my creations, my new ones, you could say, prepare me an onion salad. For example. Why one would want an onion salad, it was just an example. But legally, this is gray area work. I have permission from the Avium itself to perform this sort of experiment, but that permission had to be sought from the Birdfolk Council as an exemption to what would otherwise be a law. The Avium, it can only happen here, and only under very strict guidelines, and only within my private quarters. The end results are, if I judge them to be perfectly safe, they are released for use. So when I hear of these creatures acting strangely, or with a little bit more volition, I am concerned. But the ones that I create cannot leave the Avium, nor can they hurt a person.
Would have access to your recent research then?
Well, my class times are well known. Everybody knows everybody's class times. They're published so that students can get to class. I don't lock my doors. I trust my fellow faculty members. And even if I did, a magical lock can be magically picked. So anybody could have gotten into my rooms, my study, and done whatever they wanted to, looked through my notes. I haven't noticed any missing, though.
We respect your request and keep that part from the Dean.
I thank you. I hope you understand why I'm requesting that.
Not really.
What Dean Winsworth doesn't know can't hurt him.
But you don't trust him?
I do, but it would put him in a very complicated legal position. One he doesn't need to be in. I like Gabe.
If we're to be facing something undead, and this is the last thing I can think of, is there some sort of spell that you know of, potentially the clerics might be able to cast on us that would give us some sort of protection against whatever we might be facing?
There are several.
I can cast that. I just need to prepare it and get the materials.
There are several. Yes. I can think of several. False life, any armaments, resistant to necrotic damage.
Necrotic damage, that's what I was thinking, something.
I would also suggest skilling up in radiance. I would advise not to bother with poison. Poison, most undead creatures are immune and necrotic, but one would assume that. You can't put them to sleep, you can't charm them. They are already charmed most of the time. They don't get tired. In many respects, they're extremely perfect. They're the perfect servants.
Thank you for your time, Professor.
What I'm trying to wonder why anybody would be doing this. Because it seems to be coming in direct opposition to you. Unless there is somebody out there creating undead creatures and somebody else completely separately researching the Scorched Grove and how to prevent it, how to stop it, how to tame it. Somebody is researching. I just really struggle with the idea that a place as small as the Avium contains 2 ne'er-do-wells. So they must be related, and I wonder why and how. How would one use necromancy to tame the Scorched Grove? Because this person seems to be doing experiments. This thing, whatever it is.
I might have an idea. The snake, when it was talking to me in a vision with the professor, the divination professor, it said that Helvig had a power. The power of the scorch, the fire heart in him. He died. What if they were using necromancy to manipulate Helvig? Would they not have the power over the grove?
A deeply unsettling thought. I shall prepare a list, Master Nevermore, Master Benneck. Any spells that you require that you do not already possess in your spell book, that you have the power to cast, I will assist you in copying in.
Thank you.
If you attend me tomorrow afternoon, I have some time then. I will assist you in that time. I want to get to the bottom of this, and I bid you well in that.
We'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
You shall. My office.
Yes, and we will head. Yes, guess we'll see what happens.
I suppose we shall. Very well. Thank you. Have a pleasant evening.
You too.
A weak attempt at jest. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. You go.
Yes, as that little mustache.
Are you okay, Jude? That revelation seemed pretty damn on point.
Jude is a good detective, but it makes too much sense not to think about it.
Was Master Helvig really that powerful?
I think so. I don't think he ever told us, but from what I saw and what that snake thing said, yeah, he was.
But they can't. Well, all right. We're not at Nightseed's place anymore, right? We just
no. You're heading back, heading to dinner probably.
Well, if you're right, that would mean. Well, I would assume they need the body, right? Where is it? Didn't have a funeral?
We didn't have a body. He was swallowed. He was taken back to the fire plane or whatever we think it was.
They don't have all of it.
Bum, bum, bum.
You have a clue.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Nevermore.
Yes.
Where is the spine that they gave you?
It's in your jacket, Alan.
Yes, the spine with the necklace turning into, yes, that. Yes, here.
We have a part of Helvig. We have a part. We have to get rid of this. This could be controlled, no?
Well, would they need all of it?
Do we want to get rid of it? Don't we want to look after it and make sure nobody else can get it?
DM, was there other spikes in Ravania's office or just one?
One came through, as far as you could tell.
I think we need to.
And these things, Jude, you are aware, are almost indestructible. Sort of the point of them.
Those were OP.
Yes. Why do you think he died?
This is a connection to Helvig. This here. We need to protect it.
We also need to make sure no one knows that we have it.
And I put it back in my robe.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. Hopefully.
The trouble I've seen.
I'll get some materials to cast the protection from evil and good spell at some point.
Cool.
I guess we just like.
Is the spine is metal, no?
Yes, correct. Some sort of weird metal.
This is a really strange thought, but could we melt it and turn it into something that doesn't look like Helvig?
I mean, it doesn't necessarily look like Helvig at this point in time anyway. It's just a spike.
This is a forest. This is a place where hedge are common, and hedge would occasionally shed spines. A hedge spine, but metal is. People would probably recognize it as a hedge spine, but metal, or at least a metal version, like someone had made a hedge spine for some reason out of metal. It wouldn't be logical that people would say, oh, that's a hedge spine, but made of metal. That's really cool. But
let it be some sort of transmutation magic, I imagine, to heat up and modify a metal. Something we can look into.
Could be done.
Something I was also thinking about. Helvig used to talk about a hero that was going to his village to pick up the heart. A legend, right?
Yes,
but they never came. We also know that potentially this Scorched Grove was made by someone. No? What if it's all connected?
Like somebody from the Scorched Grove was supposed to get the thing?
Or someone took it to Helvig's hometown as a way to protect it from not going back.
Oh.
You are having this conversation while eating dinner now. I'm saying you've gone to dinner. You're having this. Yeah.
I haven't got a fucking clue, to be honest.
Maybe we should look up that legend next time we're in the library.
If it's
smart idea.
Cool. Cool. You head back to your dorm
it's close
in
now.
the evening.
I'll go study under Rusty so I can learn to control my magic.
You would, but you would head back there before you go out again.
Sure.
When you get there, guys, you find on the table in the middle of the sort of common room, there is a small note. It says, "The Forest Terrarium, Central Building, East Wing, midnight. Come alone. I know where the missing pages are." And we'll leave it there.
Oh my God!
So just to catch chat up, those who weren't aware, Helvig's spines, because of we had a harrow bar happen middle of last season, and Helvig got one of the effects of the harrowing happened to him, but it turned out to be quite good. Basically, what happened is a card, I can't remember what it was called, but
Uriel, I still have
Urali, yep.
Urali, whatever.
Urali, and Urali's effect is that your armor melts off you, but your skin takes on a metallic texture, and your AC goes up by 10 points. Your base AC goes up by 10 points. Helvig's AC was already base AC was 16, so we did nerf it a bit because he's a hedge, and they all have crazy high AC anyway. He doesn't have armor because he can't wear any, so we didn't say his spines melted off or anything. We initially ruled that the spines became metal. But so what we did is eventually we worked out what his base AC would be if he didn't have spines, then added 10. So he has an AC, or he had an AC of 22 because his spines were made of metal. So we called him Silver the Hedgehog. He also had an ability that you could curl up into a ball and crank your AC up to 19, which made it 29 when he was curled up in a ball, which was a bit fucking insane, as they haven't fought a guy yet who could hit them with that. So there you are. That's what happened there. There was a time when he suplexed somebody with his spikes. In fact, it was almost immediately after that. Yeah, it was about sort of 3 seconds after. He's like, "Oh no, I'm covered in metal." Bam! And then he walked around with the guy impaled on his back for a while. That was fun. So yeah, guys, that was fun. That was really good detecting and detective and all the things that you did. Great job. Really enjoyed it. Let's do some favorite moments. Whee! Cool. Who wants to go first? Donal, rush at once.
I'll go first. I'll go first.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
My favorite Jude moment tonight was actually her deduction skills.
Yeah.
Jude isn't very intelligent, but Jude is putting pieces into some sort of order from things that Jude knows. Because it's close to her heart with Helvig.
Yeah.
And that was really fun for me to have like a little bit of intelligent Jude moments.
I think the trick of it is Jude has an intelligence of 7, but it doesn't mean she's thick as 2 short planks. She's just not book smart, but she is very wise. She's also very charismatic. She's actually got some of the best intelligence, mental stats of the party. She's just got shitty intelligence. She doesn't have book smart.
16 wisdom.
Yeah, she's got book smarts, but she doesn't have. Sorry, she doesn't have book smarts, but she's got a fair old whack of life experience actually for her 5 years. So yeah, there is stuff going on with Jude. She's not as stupid as all that. I adored playing Jordan with you, and I've wanted that for so long. I've wanted to, as soon as we started finding out how monstrous Jude's family is, I've wanted to have one of them come in. And there has been a discussion behind the scenes between me and AJ about some of the family members, and getting to bring in Jordan. And my favorite bit was, talking about Mama with you. That was so good. I enjoyed the shit out of that. As a sort of a favorite me and a favorite AJ moment. I really enjoyed that interaction. Yeah.
You got to kill Julius now. Julius is in.
Oh, dead set. Julius has to have at least like hairy palm curse.
Yeah. So funny.
Throw up your favorite moments in chat as well. Favorite Jude, Omi having keywords to bail out of talking to Jordan or killing the guy. Yeah, that was fucked up. Serum, favorite Jude realizing her mum is alive. Yeah, absolutely. Favorite DM moment. Yeah, thank you, Spina. Yeah. I
like the line you said where it's the way they treated me only made me stronger. I liked that particular line you said there, because you have come out stronger from that.
Yeah, definitely.
And the awkward hugging as well was funny. Not like
I thought she'd go for it.
Siblings.
I thought she'd go for it, but she'd be like, "Oh no," and I'm like, "Oh, that's much cooler." Ah, nice choice.
Jordan and I
choice
have
there.
complicated. So here's something that I didn't say last week, but Jude has a really awkward relationship to like loving people and showing affection because of her past. So something I was saying to Dan is that last episode, Nevermore told Jude he loved her. And Jude never said it back.
Didn't respond. No. Yeah.
Jude said something else, and Jude.
You're my brother.
Yeah, something like "You're my brother," or
She actually
it
said
wasn't those words.
Yeah, my bro.
My bro.
Yeah.
And same with Jordan. Jordan and her relationship is complicated. Jordan also like bullied her at some points because he had to join in with his brothers to survive, and they've got complicated relationships. Of course, she wasn't gonna like.
No. Yeah. Fucked up. Rach?
I was gonna say the whole hesitancy to go talk to him was really interesting because it's like you wanted to see him because you had it out. You didn't have to go in there, so you wanted to see him, but you were also like so uncertain of how it would go, and that was really interesting. I really liked that.
I have.
Oh, sorry, Dan. Yeah, go for it.
I have two, because one of them is really tiny and I forgot the context around it, but all I wrote was Jude. Okay.
That was when I cast the spell and I saw the fiend and the celestial Nevermore, and I was like,
I'm
okay.
gonna put a pin in that one. I can't even deal with that. I love that you haven't told Nevermore either.
I was going to talk to him when we got back to our room, but now we've got a creepy note we have to deal with. So
yeah.
The second thing is Jude's same with what Rachel said, but different moment during visiting Ravania, and that like awkward feeling of like stuff being unearthed because it's just really fresh with the Helvig vision there, and you still felt it, like actual DM flavor text still felt it there. So
and my second favorite AJ would be the look on Jude's face when you went to Ravania's and being like, I don't want to go in there. Yeah. Cool. Let's talk about somebody else. That's enough, AJ. AJ's very good. Let's talk about somebody else. Let's go, Dan.
Favorite Benneck is twirling the mustache.
Yeah.
I was like,
it got me.
He had a mustache before.
Why would he? He's a bird.
Why would he? He's just like, oh, I see, like, this is pretty fun. And then it's part of his like desperado persona.
Yeah. Mustaches are very fun. Like, girls don't miss out on a lot, but facial hair is fun.
I really liked your admiration of the divination guy when he's doing the spells. You're like, oh, he's so good. That killed me. I loved that.
My favorite Benneck moment was all the like brutally honest things you were saying to Jordan and like undercutting him and being quite like sassy to this kid. I was like, Benneck, stop calling my brother. Dude.
That line of "you reek of vulnerability," that was great. That caught me so off guard.
So I think my favorite Dan moment is the looking for things to eat. Like, hey, they don't look very well. Are they dead? Are they about to die? Can I consume them and eat their flesh? Like,
I might get a better idea of who they were if I eat them.
Like Professor Ravania, like, how close to dead would you say? Like, you look very old. How old? Like, your experience, I'm like, I'm going to lean into this. You've seen an awful lot of nearly dead things. You're a vulture. Yeah, I get it. You give him 2 years tops.
Yeah, I was like, is it lick the beak level of dead? Is it just like almost, I'm just going to go away and come back and you be ready?
Wow.
Yeah. Your brother's pregnant?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, the mustache. Does Does Jude's brother look like my next meal? Drool. Yeah. Asking about how sick Jude's brother was, like a hungry skis.
Skexus. Skexus was a thing from Dark Crystal, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
sure.
I think.
Very well, that sounds about right.
Not prepared for M-Prank. Sorry, Smudgy.
No.
My wisdom and charisma are both -1.
Yeah. All right.
I will do mine if I could. I liked the moment. I felt this very strong need to talk Jude up to Jordan. I didn't have, I don't know, it's not like I necessarily had a reason to do that, other than the fact that I think that Jude's family could hopefully hear back from the brother and maybe know that they were wrong.
Yeah.
About how Jude was. So yeah, I felt like that was an important thing that Nevermore did there. Also, if I could just say, dropping rule 106.
No, that was gonna be my one.
It's gonna be mine. Jeez.
God damn it.
That was fucked up. That was so good.
Yeah.
You hurt me, man. You hurt me again.
Yeah. It just keeps hurting us.
I'm sorry.
That was
It was up there when you accidentally called Benneck Helvig. I was like, oh,
I forgot about that.
And they're so distinct. Helvig wouldn't murder anybody. Benneck would murder and eat them.
Yep.
Oh God.
Yeah, I was gonna do it at some point last week as well. The opportunity came up, but by the time I saw the rule again, the opportunity had gone, and I was like, that was the perfect time. I was like, nah, I'm gonna fucking drop it in now.
Yes.
That was literally a perfect moment for it. Fuck, man, that was so cool.
Your face,
and you could see
your
all
face
of us
as well. I was looking at Trish's face, and it was like, holy fuck, that was in my dream kind of thing. Yeah. That was super satisfying.
Deeply good.
And there was this, so that leads, I'll get back to it, but the Trish's face is actually one of my favorite moments after you said that. But we'll come back round because we're not done with Nevermore yet.
Yeah. I'll go. I have one. This is actually a favorite Mitch, not a favorite Nevermore. And it's more just a sort of a dead set compliment. Dude, your storytelling is excellent. But it's also what you have a really good instinct for what the story needs and what the DM is intending and narratively going with it. And making it feel so natural and so you're like, you could have completely legitimately gone and dobbed Nightseed in immediately, but you got that wasn't what needed to happen. There was there's so many instances where I'm like, I'm really glad I've got Mitch here because he keeps the thing moving in the direction it needs to go.
Well, I wouldn't be able to pick that up if you weren't an amazing DM. So,
but this is the point. We're all very good, but
now
Mitch, I wanted to point out how good you are at it.
Let's make out now. Got it. Yeah.
I think you're forgetting the humble in Humblewood, Josh.
Yes.
Thank you.
No idea what you're talking about.
No, he was just focusing on getting wood.
I was telling Mitch how great he is. I had nothing to do with me. But yeah, no, I genuinely think, Mitch, you are an excellent player to have in this sort of situation. You're extremely good at that.
Thank you.
Other people can tell Mitch now, and I can stop bragging.
I actually have a follow-up for Mitch with your ability to. Nevermore isn't the leader of the group, but the voice. You vocalize. If Jude isn't saying some bullshitty version of what they need, it's Nevermore asking questions and being the person that's trying to direct the story. And it's always wonderful to see Nevermore kind of being that role for the group.
Yeah.
I try my best to step back a lot and give moments of silence, and I'm constantly watching Trish, Jude, and Benneck to see if their like mouths are about to move.
Yeah.
If there's no movement for a couple seconds, I'll be like, all right, I'll continue this along.
I'll take it. Yeah.
But yeah, I try hard not to.
It's and
I
take props to you for it, because it is really hard to control that sort of. I have a similar, like, Sken is a very similar character, and I have to like consciously give space to other people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think you ever. I don't ever feel like you're hogging the spotlight.
No.
Is the point?
I'm super conscious of it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great. Any other favorite bits?
I like the scrutiny. It was very officer-like, in terms of like it had the same vibe as when you're playing an RPG and you exhaust all the dialogue options possible. It's like, we need all the information we have right now. This question, next question. Oh, divination wizard who probably knows a lot of stuff. Hey, try out these 3 things.
Yeah.
I was like, I love it.
This is the resource that we can do.
Yeah.
I was expecting you to ask another thing of him, but you didn't, and I'm like, yeah, good, okay, that's fine.
I forgot to ask something while we were with him.
Yeah, right. You can always go back. He'll be expecting you.
As long as it's not in after 2 years, he's very dead after.
Anyway,
He'll be fine. He gets better.
I've got better.
He got better.
He just took
it took a lot out of him to see Nevermore's personal future without preparing a divination circle, particularly as it relates to a powerful astral being in his eye. God, stop trying to kill the guy. Smut Geek was not prepared for the Embreg session today. If you've done nothing wrong, you've got nothing to fit. Yeah, okay, dude. What else we got? I saw one from Mother of Bunnies that I really liked. Favorite moment, Nevermore and Trish doing good cop, bad cop with the necromancer. That was fun. Benneck is going back in 2 years to see if he's still grasping the last breath. Ask him to lunch.
I knew it would be you.
Why do you think I never taught you?
I wonder what a master diviner tastes like.
Just think, Benneck, if you had done divination magic, you would be able to determine when things were going to die,
and they would all
and you could
die.
just rock up
be
at that perfect time to eat them.
Yeah,
Like
they don't ward the infirmary.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect.
wow.
Wow. God.
Benneck the Reaper.
Benneck the Reaper.
He just shows up by your door and
He rocks up in a
"My
black
time's come."
cloak with a scythe, and it's like, it is your time.
Trish.
Excellent. Trish, favorite moment.
I like any time I get to use Scroungecraft. I literally did Map Hatch just because I thought that was cool as hell. So I liked making the mustache. It was fun.
You don't do it. I was just like, oh my God, she hasn't done this in ages. Yes, yes.
Any opportunity I get, I'm like, hell yeah, Scroungecraft.
So like, it's not really something that can happen, and it would be stupid and pointless. I'm totally going to let it happen.
Thank you.
When Jude was like, I'd like to just comment as myself. I was like, but the Scroungecraft, do it on me, do it on me.
Thank you.
Trish, your face, Rachel, when Nevermore did Rule 106, was this moment of self-doubt that was visible on your face of being like I'm that dead weight, and it was so powerful. It was a split second that crossed your facial expression, and we could all see it because we know from your dream, but these characters don't know, and that just made it so much more impressive to me.
Oh, look, you got
the acting skill.
Oh, you
Thank
fuckers.
you.
They keep getting us. Eldritch Scribe, welcome, Raiders.
Welcome, we're just wrapping up.
Oh.
Yeah, 100% agree. The face was just written all over your face when I said that. I was watching it. As soon as I said it, I was focused on your face. But I also liked your use of the backup persuasion there, where I hadn't even thought about mentioning the fact that several students have already died, and there could be more. I hadn't thought of that at all. Didn't cross my mind. I was too busy fucking popping away at questions. So you came in with the Mama Trish compassion there, and it helped big time. So I dug that bit.
Thank you.
It's the whole party dynamic. You each fill the role you need, and what's fascinating, and it's more of a I'll get back to Trish, but yeah, it's an interesting thing about Benneck is that he's finding a niche to fill, and it's not Helvig's niche. Dan is finding a whole new niche, despite the fact that he's the same person playing a different person. He's like it's like he's good at it.
What? Stop! This is not my turn anymore.
Anyway, talking about Rachel and Trish, yeah. Again, it's for me. It's the space you give other people. It's the opportunities that you provide them. I think my favorite moment would be saying to Jude, "You need a safe word. Like, let's organize this. Let's prepare for this meeting." Yeah.
And then you choosing the word muffin. It's like, how many times are you going to say muffin? Would you like a muffin? God. And it's like, ah!
In fairness, in the average conversation, she doesn't always mention muffins. Like, you've gone in to talk to a guy about a nasty thing he saw out of a window. I actually grant you, I could immediately see just Jude going like, "Oh, you're really upset. Do you want a muffin?" And then you murder him. Yeah.
In my defense, I went with that because I thought that would be the easiest thing for Jude to slip into conversation.
Yeah.
To be logically. Like, "I need a muffin" or something. And in Jude's head, that was the word.
Yeah. It would happen. Yeah. I'm a dude playing a dude, being another dude. Yeah.
Thanks, Awaken. My favorite Trish moment is the rant about the Avium being like, "I thought this was for smart people. Now the books are torn apart and the skeletons don't do anything. Like, trust skeletons." And I was like, whoa.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And immediately throwing up the students under the bus about not being... I think it was Nevermore being like, the students
the
are downhill since I was here.
Yeah, it's all gone downhill since I've left.
That was so funny.
Just burning everybody.
Who was it who defended? Like, because Benneck goes, "Hey," and Jordan goes, "Yeah, that's fair." And was it Jude who was like, No, Nevermore, you're not going to say that shit.
Don't listen to Nevermore. He's arrogant. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I suck.
I had to stick up for Jordan because Jordan has no self-esteem, which is weird because Jude has plenty.
It's being sucked out of him.
Yeah, I get that.
The monster. The monster is a self-esteem vampire.
Yeah.
Cool. Kudos to you tonight, Josh, for your role-playing of Jordan with Jude.
Thank you.
I think that was really, really well done.
Good
connection between the two of them. That's it. Yeah.
My favorite DM moment, and I'm cutting in before you, Josh, is actually that you I don't know if you watched back Jude or you're learning Jude's accent, but you got certain things in the accent that I have made up that isn't part of like the weird bouncy Russian accent that Jude is.
No, I was aiming for what I was I was doing my imitation of Jude.
Yeah. And it was your use of the word Trish, where Trish has 2 extra beats at the beginning of Trish. Which I thought was really, really on point today for Jordan's accent. You nailed Jude's little bouncy Russian Italian mix that I have created.
Yeah, thank you. I found it going very
last.
Yeah, Josh, don't talk.
Yeah, don't talk.
No, all right, carry on.
Yeah, that's right.
Fine.
That's right, John.
I'll sit up. I'll shut up and sit down.
Is that divination thing part of the book? Because boy, am I just frothing over it. Yeah, like the biddle.
Oh, the throwing of the bones and the bowl of water being on its side, and like that was.
Do you want to know something even cooler and something I'm like pretty happy with? I made it all up on the spot.
What?
Oh, I'm like, the cogs are turning in my brain. What could that mean?
I moved
Wait,
the
no,
mattress. The only note I made was that the mattress had been moved.
Wait, the prophecy is also made up?
Oh, no, sorry. That's from the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yo,
Monster Wheel the
seventh
Master
row.
Woe. Yeah, no, sorry.
Holy
Not
Thanks
that
for the
one.
raid, everybody.
Hi,
Yeah,
Raid.
as well. It's so nice to have all these raiders just before we fuck off. Thanks so much, guys. Yeah, we're very, very nearly at the end. Everyone's just telling me how clever I am, and it's very nice of them. Yeah.
Trish, it's your turn.
Speaking of how wonderful Josh is, I fucking loved the way you played Nightseed. It was so subtle because I went in there like, this is the fucker who did it, but you were like, I could see your concern, like, I don't know how to describe it. I went in there and I'm like, oh no, you didn't do it, but it looks like you did it, and you know that, and I know that, but we both know it's not you. And like how you conveyed that without saying it was fucking great.
Yeah. Getting the realization about a quarter of the way in, she's like, shit, I'm being framed.
Yeah.
When she is given the information, she's like, I could totally see why these guys would think that I did it. But also, I'd be a fucking idiot if I left all this lying around. Yeah. My favorite DM moment was dropping Jordan Littlefoot. Was dropping in the name Littlefoot, and the looks on your fucking faces.
I was like, whoa.
I had written it in chat because I was like, as soon as you said Jordan, I was like, no, he didn't.
No, you did not.
No, you didn't. And then said Jordan Littlefoot. I was like, damn it.
He was a real character in the book. It's a real character in the book, but it's not Jordan Littlefoot. It is, however, a little Gerbine boy. And I was like, boom, that boy, boom, yeah. Gel Platana, also from the book, totally legit people, as is Corvax Ravania, but very little detail has gone into about him. It certainly doesn't mention a vaguely Antonio Banderas accent, which is the note I gave myself when I'm trying to do that voice.
Vaguely Antonio Banderas.
Yeah. It's Antonio Banderas from Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah.
You must ask the right questions is the line I say to get myself into his headspace.
Yeah.
It's pretty divine as well, you know.
Gotta say, you passing me the NPC because you wanted the voice to be something different was actually really cool. Because, you know, like that's something different and challenging for me to go from Jude's accent to a Scottish accent. Didn't realize until I was like in it. I was like, oh no, they're so similar. But
yeah,
props to you for doing that. Like that's very rare for DMs to you know, pass over NPC.
Would you mind be the voice of that? Yeah. I just had it when I was reading the bit that she was supposed to say. I was like, this is Angelica in my head. I hear Angelica from Academy. I'm like, hey, AJ can do that. And she happens to be there. All right. Yeah. It's not a huge amount of information to convey, although you had so many questions for her. I was like, oh, poor woman. I haven't told her any of this.
I was ready to just make it up, but I was like,
and everything you did, I was just like, it's fine. That's perfect. Yeah. So anyway, very 13th warrior Antonio Banderas. Antonio Banderas pretending to be Muslim. It's a good film. It's one of my favorites, not geek. Damn it, you mentioned Antonio Banderas, and I feel strong needs to go and watch a movie with it. Probably Zorro. Yeah, 13th Warrior. We can watch that now, love. Don't mention that film. She's sick of it. It's one of my favorite films. All right, we should go away from here now. It has been a genuine pleasure, everybody, performing and being silly with you. So thank you, everybody, for coming, watching, and playing. Thank you to all of our raiders for coming and raiding us. That's excellent. Thank you, Eldritch Scribe, and the seventh something or another. Seventh Roll. Thank you, Seventh Roll, for the raid, and thank you to the other raid that came along very early on, but it was like 3 hours and a lot of roleplay ago. Thank you to our fabulous sponsors, Wooten Forge, purveyors of WA's finest handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories. Check them out at woodenforge.com, like that one. We're giving that away at the end of the season, so come back for that shit. Now, everybody, tell me who you are with the same level of energy that we did it before. AJ, go.
Yes, I'm AJ Winters, and I have really thin walls, so I feel bad for my neighbors. But I'm a creative person, and you can find me on Instagram at AJ Winters VO, where I do voice acting, script writing, producing film work, and any creative thing that I like. You can also find me on Thursday nights, where I DM the Academy of Xandar, which is at 8 p.m. AWST this Thursday for more chaos.
And Johnny maybe jerking off more. Excellent. Dan, same level. Go.
Oh God! Hi, I'm Dan. I'm a meat space person. You can't find me anywhere on social media because I'm a rare shiny. That's right. Although you can find me as D-Rep on Twitch chat or on Roll for Damage's Discord. Come hang out. I lurk. I'm a supportive friend in the shadows, and that's me. Come on Wednesday for Helvig because he's dead here, and I play Benneck every week. So yeah, let me eat corpses, please. Yeah, bam.
I have a new favorite moment. Oh, mate, that was wonderful. Mitch, if you want, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. Go.
What up, everybody? My housemates are asleep, so I'm not going to be shouting right now. My name is Mitch Earnshaw. You can find me on Twitter at Mitch Earnshaw, Mitch_Earnshaw. And it's really good to see you again. And that was Celestial. I'll catch you next week. Yeah, fuck yeah. Done.
It doesn't sound like that at all. Rachel.
Hello, my name is Rachel Foucar. I am an actor, writer, and creative trash at large. If you would like, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Rachel Foucar, because that handle is always mine, forever. No one else has my name. I have also written a book. It is a sci-fi book called The Rings of Mars, and if you do not purchase it, I will find you. I will sneak into your house, and I will eat everything in your fridge. Everything in your fridge. Don't underestimate me. I will do it. That's why Josh bought my book. He wants his food. That is all. Thank you. Goodbye.
It's
what about the cat food?
Yeah, getting replacement shelves is the real problem.
You'll eat the cat food? All right.
I will. I'm a woman of my word.
Glass hats. Mesdames and Messieurs, Dama und Herren and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I am Josh the Pirate, and I have been your not-so-humble DM and storyteller this evening. If you enjoyed my face and voice tonight, you can find me in Pop Erotica at Fringe World. Get amongst it. My wife writes it, and she's very talented and pretty. And if you like the majestic voice, but you think I could stand to turn the face down a bit, you can shut up and come and watch me on Wednesday night. Because I'm going to keep my face in that. I am the DM for the second half of the 2 show that we're running on Wednesday for the Heliana's Guide to Monster Hunting. I can't maintain this level of energy. I'm also part of the There Be Dragons crew. We're a 5e D&D podcast in a fantasy gunpowder setting where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Scan, Felspar. Ooh. And his little dragon, Prosh. Guys, that was great. That was wonderful. That was fun. Thank you to Serum. Thank you to Breepie for the art. And we'll go and raid somebody else now.
Yeah. We're going to be raiding Agent Number 1, one of our favorites. He's from the Scales Above Ruffians/Ruffians crew. So we're going to go give him some love. Make sure you tell him where you have been and share your deep, dark secrets with him. Maybe not. That's up to you.
He'd love to hear that.
Otherwise, Rachel's going to come and eat all your food.
In your fridge.
She will. She'll eat your whole fridge.
But yes, we also have Humblewood Monday nights, One Shot Wednesdays now as well, and Thursday Nights Academy. So come join for those later this week.
The Scales Above will start in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it will. Boom.
Please take us away. Please take us away. Just make us go away from here now. Bye.